Alright, so today we're ranking all of the racing games, or at least most of the racing games, 147 to be exact. And we have a few tiers here. Masterpiece obviously should be pretty self-explanatory. Then going down we get S, A, B, C, D, and the garbage tier. For stuff that is so bad I wouldn't even put it into D tier. And then another tier for games that I've never played, because there's a few games in here that I've never played. You can rank these yourself if you want to. A clip channel? I'm not sure, I'll have to think about it. So, this is for the most part ordered, sorted alphabetically. For franchises that have like a bit of a bigger presence, like Need for Speed, it's ordered chronologically. So this is basically ordered by franchise, I guess. So should we start? Should we start tackling it? Alright, Out of Rally. The music, which you currently hear, by the way, is actually from Out of Rally. I think most of you guys haven't actually played this one. I did, and I really loved it. I'm usually not... I mean, I do like Rally. That's why it was initially interesting to me. But I'm not really a fan of like top-down racing games. At least I don't play them that often. But this one actually really blew me away. It's really it's not that not that complex, but it's really nice. It is super chill game. It's a game that you can really nicely play on like a Sunday evening or whatever, and just get some nice vibes. Great handling, great art style, really good music. Overall, just really enjoyable experience, especially because it offered something unique. You know, I feel like a lot of racing games nowadays, you know, they just kind of repeat themselves. Aeos, thanks for the 8 months, man. I feel like a lot of racing games nowadays lack identity and personality. And Out of Rally is just oozing with personality. So, I'm gonna put it into A tier. I think for S, it's just missing a bit of variety. But considering this is an indie game, I think Out of Rally is really solid. Yeah, I'm gonna send the link to the tier list after the stream. Then you guys can make one yourself. I mean, it's a good game, but I feel like there's more room for like, you know, there's more room above. So I'm gonna put this into A for now. Really enjoyable game, especially considering it's pretty cheap. Next up, Asphalt 7. Well, basically, I mean, I could have added like all of the Asphalt games, but then this tier list would be way bigger than it needs to. I just added the last 3 entries in here, or at least like the last 3 mainline ones. And starting with Asphalt 7, which I did play briefly, and I can confidently say this one is way better than the other Asphalt games. Probably the best Asphalt game. Look at this tier list, dude. What's up, Dove? It's probably the best one for the simple reason because it was actually a pay-to-play game. Right, like Asphalt 8, with that one they started to do this like pay to win, free to play, man, all of these fucking pay words. So Asphalt 7 was like an actual game you could actually buy on the store for like $8 and you got like a full game, right? No bullshit. So that's why I actually really enjoyed this one. It was a bit lethal. It's not as polished as Asphalt 8. But Asphalt 7, honestly, I think it's enjoyable. I think if you can somehow get it to run on like the BlueStacks emulator, I think it's worth checking out. Again, it doesn't have like the polish of Asphalt 8 or 9, but simply because it doesn't have any of this microtransaction cancer, I would also put this into A tier. It's a good one. How many games are in the list? 147. Made this one myself, took like an hour. B is good for Asphalt 7. I would actually put it into A. I think it is actually really good stuff. So I at least enjoyed it, but then again, it's also been a while since I played it. Maybe if I play it nowadays, I would see more flaws. I definitely remember the handling was a bit stiff, but it was okay. It's a mobile game. It was one of the first of its kind, and I think for that it's pretty decent. Moving on to Asphalt 8. So here's the thing. Should we rank games based on the state they were released in, or in the state that they are currently in? Yeah, exactly, because Asphalt 8, when it came out, I would have put it into A tier. Maybe even S, considering it's a mobile game. But it did change. It did change significantly. So should we rank these games based on when they released, or what they are, or basically in their current state? I think it's more fair to judge these games based on what they are nowadays, because it doesn't really matter what they used to be like, because no one can play them like that anymore, right? I think this tier list is gonna be more useful if I rank these games based on what they are nowadays. And honestly, nowadays, Asphalt 8 is a C. This game took such a deep dive. It took such a deep dive, man. It started off super well. Like, it's such a massive improvement over Asphalt 7. Like, I always explain Asphalt 8 as like Burnout on crack. It's like, I feel like that's the kind of like the spiritual successor to Burnout. But holy fuck, they messed it up, dude. They kept adding so much pay-to-win stuff to it. It's insane. It's actually insane. Like, if you want to progress at all in the game, like literally at all, you have to either grind for years or pay up, basically. It's evolving, but backwards, pretty much, yeah. So I'm gonna put it into C. The reason why I'm not putting it into D is because the base of the game is so good. Like, it's still fun to play. It's just everything around it is just horrible. Can't finish the career in Asphalt 8 because the cars are locked behind microtransactions and event exclusives. Yeah, pretty much. That's why nowadays I would only give it a C. It's pretty bad. But I feel like the base of the game is still solid, that you can maybe jump in and have like 20 minutes of fun and then get turned off again. Here's like one thing that I'll say about Asphalt 8. I think you're gonna have more enjoyment with Asphalt 8 if you cheat for one day, like cheat the hell out of the game, like cheat yourself money, cars, everything. Then get banned for 2 weeks. Then when you get unbanned, cheat again and hopefully finish the career and then get banned forever. I feel like doing that is probably more enjoyable than trying to play the game normally and then having access to it all the time. I think it's totally worth like shooting yourself in the foot for it and basically completely locking your account. If therefore you can actually like play the game. Okay, Gen nice, man. But moving on to Asphalt 9. Why do people like Asphalt 9? Why do people like it? Genuinely curious. Because I played it in 2018, I think. Or 2019, not sure when it came out, but like shortly after it came out. And it was basically in the same state as in Asphalt 8, where it's just like pay to win. But now the problem is the base of the game isn't even fun anymore. Asphalt 9 has good graphics. Yeah, well, 100 other games here have good graphics too. I think what bothered me the most about Asphalt 9 is that the races were so short. Which I guess makes sense for a mobile game, but I feel like I feel no sense of satisfaction when I complete like a 30-second race. I don't know about you guys. Like, it's just like no fun doing like a 30-second race for me personally. So with that in mind, I don't think the microtransaction stuff is as aggressive as in 8, but the base of the game is not as fun anymore. I guess I'll put it into C too. Maybe D. If there was something like a C minus, I would put it there. But I don't think it's bad enough for D. I think D is gonna have a lot worse games, so I'm gonna put it into C. Yeah, literally, Ollie. Like 30 seconds of racing for like a minute and a half of menuing. Like most of the game is literally menuing, guys. That's why I couldn't get into it. So yeah, Asphalt 9 for me is a C. Now moving on to actual games. Assetto Corsa. This is another weird one to rank because should we take modding into consideration? Because that's a huge part of Assetto, right? Or like a massive part of the appeal of Assetto, that you can basically mod the shit out of it, right? And that's at least for me personally, that's where a lot of the fun came from. Are you going to rank games inside tiers? What do you mean? Yeah, I am ranking these games, can't you see? Yeah, I guess so, yeah, no. I mean, the thing is, like, mods are not really related to the game. Like, that's stuff from the community. But I feel like I'm split, because on one hand, I kind of want to rank these games for what they are and for what you get when you buy them. But on the other hand, I feel like mods are part of the game. It's part of the community, part of the thing. And I will say, like, if I would not take mods into consideration, Assetto Corsa for me is a B. With mods, it's probably an A. I would take mods into... initially, I was against it, but I think now thinking about it, it makes sense. So let's take mods into consideration for these games here. Holy shit, dude. Also with the 20 gift sub bomb. Holy fuck, you weren't lying, man. Yo, thank you so much for the 20 gift subs. Much appreciated. Alright, so let's take mods into consideration. And if I do, I would say Assetto Corsa is easy A. The base game is pretty bland. Let me just get that out of the way. The base game is pretty bland. Korea is bland. Online, I guess, is nice. But without the mods, it's pretty much a generic sim racing game. But since it does have like a massive modding community and you can get so much out of the game, it's A. Especially since it has like VR too, which is super nice. Yo, Oz, thank you so much again for the 20 gift subs. That is fucking wild. Appreciate it, man. So, moving on. Auto Modelista, never played. Actually, never played it. I think for games that I never played, I'm gonna open up a poll. Auto Modelista. I don't think I can fit all the tiers in. So for the people in chat that did play Auto Modelista, that's the poll. I'm gonna leave it open here. So let's see what you guys think about Auto Modelista. I haven't played it, but I at least want to know from you guys what you guys think. From the ones of you that have played it, of course. You think it's S tier? Then vote for S tier. At least want to get your guys' opinion on. It definitely looked good, but what I know is that your experience is gonna vary depending on which version you pick up. Because I know that the Japanese and I think also the European version has better handling, but therefore less content, right? I think the American version has like a few tracks in the car more, but therefore worse handling. But it seems like you guys think, or at least the guys, the few of you that have played Auto Modelista, it's more of an indie title really. I think this is A tier. It looked really nice. I think I really gotta play this one at some point. Cell shade racing game. Yeah, sure. It definitely has like personality, but for me personally, I never played it. So, in case you can't tell, I couldn't find like a good cover for this, but this is BeamNG Drive. Since we established that mods should be taken into consideration for the ranking, BeamNG, I think that's another A. I had a lot of fun with it, especially because a lot of the mods actually add scenarios, which can get like really creative. So I actually really enjoyed this one. What about you guys? I'm not sure how much content the game has without mods and how much you can like do with BeamNG, but I definitely remember downloading like a crap ton of scenarios and cars and what have you and just fucking around. Yeah, it's definitely the most fun game when you just want to crash cars. Absolutely, like the damage model is really insane. For sure. I feel like beyond just crashing cars, I mean it's a sandbox racing game, right? So we need to be a bit careful. We can't put this in the same, well, we can't really compare this to like Burnout or Flatout, because that's not really what this game is supposed to be. Sure, it does have a little bit of racing, but the focus is definitely on sandbox. Which is interesting because there are really not a lot of sandbox racing games. It's kind of like, I think, I'm not sure who said it, but someone put it well. It's kind of like the Gmod of racing games. And I totally agree. So yeah, I'm gonna put it into A. I think if you download it and download like a lot of mods about it with like scenarios, you can actually get decent amount of fun on this. Does BeamNG have multiplayer, by the way? I don't think it does. I remember asking that question before and someone gave me like a half-assed answer. Hey Quest. Also, I never doubted it, man. It does? With a mod, okay. Could be worth trying out. But yeah, BeamNG is an A tier. Big rigs. Welcome to the garbage tier. I mean, what is that to say, man? What's there I can say, dude? I feel like Big Rigs has such a notoriety that even people that don't play racing games know about it and know how shit it is. Now everyone's unsubbing because I put it in the garbage tier, not masterpiece. That's garbage, man. I mean, what can I say about it that hasn't been said a million times before? You guys know the game. I know the game. We all know it's garbage. Let's move on. Based crappy game. Alright, Blur. I think this is where a lot of people will probably go as far to say masterpiece, and it's fair. Personally, I am just going to put this into S tier. I feel like it just... Carrera, sorry for not saying hi. There's just a lot of people here and I'm trying to like do this thing here. But I see you, man. I'm still gonna put it into S. I think it just misses the mark for masterpiece, at least for me personally. I think for this to be a masterpiece, it would have needed more interesting tracks and also a little bit tighter car handling. Handling is not bad, tracks are not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's just not there for like masterpiece material. Never played it for you, it looks like an easy A. I would even say S. I think Blur is fantastic. Like just the experience of driving in Blur is amazing. Sadly, I never played it multiplayer. I think if I played it multiplayer, there's a good chance I would have put Blur into masterpiece. But I mean, the single player is still pretty good though. It's short, but it's kind of nice. But yeah, like the thing is, like for masterpiece, I expect like really insanely good stuff, and I think the tracks and the handling is just not quite there for masterpiece material. And those two are pretty important stuff, you know. But it has everything else. Like it has personality, it has cars, it has like just really nice driving. Like although I said the handling isn't like as tight, it's still pretty good though. So yeah, it's S. There's not a lot of Mario-esque powered-up racing with licensed cars. Yeah, there's only one. Actually, I think there's another one. There's another game that is kind of like Blur, but Blur gives you such a nice experience. Can definitely recommend playing it if you haven't done so yet. So now we move on to the Burnout games. Burnout 1 I actually never played. I am too zoomer. I'm too zoomer for Burnout 1. I guess it's something I need to do still. I'm doing well, Quest, up here too. Hey! Depressing life. Thank you for the 7 months. Appreciate it. With Prime Gaming.
Pog, keep up the great work people love.
Thanks, man. I'll try. So yeah, I don't know what I could say about Burnout 1, to be honest. I saw like a good decent amount of gameplay. It just seems like a prototype for like the regular Burnout games. Like, so I would maybe put it into C or B, but since I've never played personally, it's gonna be in this category. Now moving on, we have Burnout 2. Burnout 2 I think was a massive upgrade over Burnout 1. And I think Burnout 2... I might put it into S tier. Burnout 2 is fantastic. B, A, now Burnout 2 is fucking great. And the thing is, I have no nostalgia for this one, right? I never played it as a kid. I played for the first time last year. And I was like, holy shit, like, it was good, man. It has a great sense of speed. I actually feel like the driving itself is more fun in Burnout 2 than in Burnout 3. Like the handling and everything, it's just a bit tighter. It's a great game. You cannot go wrong with it. But there isn't a lot of things that I could like criticize about Burnout 2. It's just great. I think if there's like one thing, it's that the crash mode is a bit too random. Since you have like no control over the crashes whatsoever. Which I get makes like some of the fun, but I feel like for me personally it was just like trial and error. And you can sometimes like just redo certain crash junctions, scratching your head where it went wrong, what you could still improve. Still, Burnout 2 is so good. So good, honestly. This is where they really made something great. Now, Burnout 3, and I think this is the first candidate for the Masterpiece tier. I mean, come on. I don't think anyone's gonna argue here. Burnout 3 is fucking fantastic, and everyone knows it. The thing is, where I realized that Burnout 3 is actually Masterpiece material is when people that don't play racing games at all remember Burnout 3 and praise it. Hey, Ace. First one with the 12 months. Appreciate it, man. Full fucking year. Let's go, man. Thank you so much, dude. But yeah, Burnout 3 is Masterpiece material for the simple reason that it draws people that don't play racing games in and creates, like, you know, really strong, long-lasting memories. And it does so much right. Like, the introduction of takedowns, most important thing for the Burnout franchise. Like, it is a masterpiece by all means. And I haven't met a single person who doesn't like Burnout 3, and I think that says something. Neither you play a lot of racing games, and even you can tell Burnout 3 is shit ton of fun. It is so good. Especially because it has a lot of variety. You know, the crash mode is so good. If you're tired of the crash mode, you can go back racing. You can do a lot in racing. There's like so much variety in the tracks and everything. It's so good. Super fun game. Absolute masterpiece. Now moving on, Burn Revenge. I think I'm gonna put it right next to Burnout 3. It's basically Burnout 4. Honestly. I know not a lot of people played Revenge. Probably because it isn't called Burnout 4. But it's literally what it is. It does everything that Burnout 3 did well and adds more to it. I would say this is just as much of a masterpiece as Burnout 3. I think these two are some of the best arcade racing games ever made. You can't go wrong with either of them. So yeah. I think the main thing for Burnout Revenge is that it overhauled some of the racing. Like, the racing feels ever so slightly different, but in a really, really good way. Besides that, it kind of mixed the strength, like when we talk in the crash mode, it kind of mixed the strengths of Burnout 3 and 2 together. So it's kind of like something in the middle. So yeah, anyone here that hasn't played Revenge, you got some catching up to do. You only played Burnout on PSP. Yeah, I think Burnout Legends on PSP, which I didn't include because I don't think it was relevant, because it's pretty much just Burnout 3 for PSP. Yeah, but the thing with Burnout Revenge on the 360, it actually looks worse. Because they added like a lot of visual effects to it that are like really overdone. But yeah, it's just such a nice game. It's right up there with Burnout 3. So next up we have Burnout Dominator. Again, sadly I have to say I never played this one. For the sole reason that I just don't feel like I need to. I just never felt like I missed out on not playing Burnout Dominator. I know there's like a lot of people that like it. But I mean, what does Burnout Dominator offer that 3 and Revenge don't? To me it just always seemed like yet another Burnout game without the crash mode. That's not to say it's bad. I'm pretty sure it's still like very, very fun. But it's probably like more like A tier or B tier. You think Dominator is S? Okay. I mean, if they didn't change the formula, it can still be good, right? Not something that I personally played. But yeah, again, like every time I feel like, man, I want to play another Burnout game, I just replay 3 or Revenge. I look at I usually consider Dominator, but it's like, what does Dominator offer that 3 and Revenge don't already have? So I never actually got around to play it. So yeah, this is in the never played category. Next up will be Paradise. I didn't include the remaster because, I mean, let's get real, it's the same game. But let's just assume this is Paradise with all the DLCs and all the content. I'm gonna be a bit controversial here. I'm gonna say Burnout Paradise for me is a B. I like it, but I don't nearly as much like it on the same level as I like Burnout 2, 3, and Revenge. I think there's a pretty big gap between those games, at least for me personally. Unsubbed. I mean, it's still an enjoyable time. Don't get me wrong, but I always catch myself being kind of bored because you drive on the same tracks all the time, and you have to drive to all the events. I feel like they kind of failed translating Burnout properly into an open world. Because the problem is you only have like 6 finish lines, right? On like every corner of the map. And basically what happens, it doesn't really matter where you start the race. First of all, you always have to drive towards the races, which gets very boring very fast. Sure, on the way you can collect some stuff, but that's only gonna be fun for so long. But since you do the races, essentially you just end up driving on the same roads all the time. And it just felt like 80% of the map doesn't really get used. I think the most fun in Burnout Paradise I definitely had with like road rage and, you know, well, actually road rage and stunting events were actually pretty fun too. But it usually gets pretty repetitive for me. Like just the same roads all the time, the same thing every time. Like it's just never different, never any different. And I will actually say I actually enjoyed the Big Surf Island expansion more, because in the Big Surf Island expansion they actually made proper races with checkpoints. So you were actually, you know, driving on like different roads all the time. So I actually much preferred the Big Surf Island expansion. All that being said, it's still great. It's still a good racing game. I think you can have a decent amount of fun with Paradise. Absolutely. And sadly, it was the last Burnout game. I really hope they would make another one, but sadly no. I would have loved. I think Paradise is one of those games that really could have benefited from a sequel. With like Paradise being like their first open world game, and then they learn how to make like open worlds and, you know, learn from their mistakes, and then they make a second one that, you know, just adds more variety, like proper races and just proper everything. It would have been great. But yeah. Moving on. I only added one Cars game. I know there's like more, but this is the only one that I have played. Cars International. Honestly, it's either B or C. I know most of you guys in here probably never played it, so I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about this one. Man, I'm gonna put it into B. Honestly, Cars International is not bad at all. It's really not bad. It's a bit lethal. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it's a bit lethal, but it's good. Because this one does something really interesting, where it's kind of like a racing game collectathon hybrid. You know, like Spyro or whatever? It's actually a bit of a collectathon. So you like drive around and you collect like items and customization and blah. And you just explore the track. The racing itself was pretty average. It wasn't anything special. But it was pretty fun. Not ranking Cars as masterpiece. I think it's nice. It's also a game that I played as a child, so maybe I'm a bit, you know. Yeah, honestly, this Cars game is better than Asphalt 8 and 9. I shit you not. I shit you not. This little Cars game is literally better than Asphalt. 100%. Because it's just more of a game. So I would recommend try it out. Especially if you like the Cars movies. It's really nice because it has like its own story and doesn't just follow the movie story. It's good, it's good. The racing isn't that good, it gets a bit repetitive near the end. But because the game actually has like several maps that threw me off. The game actually has like several maps, and in those maps there's like a lot of collectibles you can collect, and it's actually really fun. So, and here we come to like 2 games actually I've never played, sadly. Colin McRae 2 and 4. Sadly never played those, although I'm a big rally fan. Those 2 I just missed out on. What would you say? Anyone in here who's played these 2? Or any other Colin McRae rally game? McRae 04 is S-Class. Damn, that's a statement. S-Class is good. If you say something is S, then I need to play those. Yeah, I think I do, man. I think I missed out with the Colin McRae rally games. Really, I only played the dirt once. So I can't really talk much, which is a bit of a crime because I'm a big rally fan usually, but yeah. So yeah, might have played 2 when you were a child and you think it's A. That's nice. Played them as a kid, but you can't remember very well how much it was. I think, yeah, I played some other rally games, but yeah, not these two. So, Crashday. I will be honest.
Hello there.
Hey there. I bought it on Steam, played it for an hour and a half, really didn't enjoy my time, and then refunded it. I know there's like a lot of fans for it. I had such a hard time liking it. I think I'll still put it into B. I think if I would give this game another chance, if I would give it another chance nowadays, I would probably like it more, but back when I played, I think it must have been like 2017. I really didn't like it. It was so frustrating. C or B. I think that's where this game is a bit... Yeah, I think I'll still put it into B. Because it does offer like a lot of variety and stuff. And has like really interesting scenarios. Sure, it's a bit of a little game, but was not the worst. Yeah, Asphalt 8 got pretty shit. Burnout knockoff. I guess it's more of a Twisted Metal knockoff or Carmageddon. Cars have like weapons. But yeah, I don't have much to say because I didn't play it much. Didn't enjoy it, but looking back, maybe now I would enjoy it a bit more. Maybe I'll have to give this game another chance. So, Crazy Taxi. That's a tough one for me. This is just Crazy Taxi 1. Because I never played the others. I think that's another B. S? You think it's S? I mean, at the time, maybe. But I can't say it aged well. It aged pretty terribly. Like I mean, what do you do in the game? You have like this mission type thing. You have like these missions that are like pretty interesting, but you're done with them within like a couple hours. And then what's left? Just like random arcade mode. Gets boring really fast. I wouldn't say it's a lethal game. It just didn't age well. I mean, this was obviously made for like arcades, and then they ported it to the Dreamcast, and the Dreamcast is like really old. I'm gonna put it into B. I think it's a game you can have like decent fun with, but it's not something that I would go out of my way to like play all the time. You know, like these are games I can always go back to here in A tier. Crazy Taxi is not really one of them. Because it's kind of like one of those games, you played it and you played it, you know? Not that that's a bad thing, but it's just kind of like, you know. So, dangerous driving. It's D. That's the first. I wouldn't go as far to say it's garbage, but it's D. Exactly, yeah. No, I wouldn't say it's garbage. I wouldn't say it's garbage. It's pretty bad. It's by all accounts, by all means, it's D. But I would not put this in the same category as Big Rigs. Putting this in the same category as Big Rigs is a bit of a lie. Well, not a lie. I guess a lie, but it would be a bit extreme. I think it's D. It's just a really poorly executed and unfinished Burnout knockoff, which I guess makes sense because it's made by the same developers that made Burnout 3 and with the others, but with no budget, no team, and no time. It's just bad. It's not horrible. It's not garbage. Where I would say like it's straight trash. Like you can get some enjoyment out of it for like 10 minutes, but that's really it. That's why it's getting like a D tier. So, Colin McRae .1, man, we still have so many ahead, dude. Dirt 1? I think I'm gonna give that one an A. I actually played it for the first time, was it last year or this year? I actually don't remember, but it wasn't that long ago. I was surprised. It was really enjoyable. What do I expect for Dangerous Driving 2? They announced that they wanted to do an open world, right? It's gonna be horrible. Yeah, there's 3 Trackmania games. Added them right here. But back to Dirt 1. I was really surprised. It's a bit lethal, I'll be honest. It has a bit of lethalness. Not much, but a bit of lethalness. It looks dreadful. Like, the graphics are just straight dreadful. But what matters is the gameplay, right? What matters is the gameplay. I think if we're talking gameplay, it's pretty nice. It has like a really surprising amount of variety. Like, you have like so many different cars, up to like trucks and like some really bizarre shit. Some great tracks. Handling is actually pretty interesting. It's, as I said, like, that's where the lethalness comes in. The handling is a bit weird, but it allows you to like be really fast around the tracks. I had a really enjoyable time with Dirt 1, honestly. So, Dirt 2. And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Some of you might disagree, and I think it's fair. But it's just, if we take all of the rally racing games together, like all of them, this comes out on top. And that's why this is a masterpiece in my mind. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I feel like games don't need to be perfect to be masterpieces. Sure, the career drags on a little bit. Sure, it gets a bit repetitive near the end. But it does so much right. And when we're talking rally games, like if we put all the rally games together, for me personally, this always comes out on top. I think most people would agree. It does so much right. It has personality, great handling, lots of speed, track variety. So much good stuff. So much good stuff. Hey Alex, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. There's the perfect game, and that is what makes each game a masterpiece on its own. You have big rigs. But yeah, I mean, you know, for like an arcade rally game, there isn't much I can like fault for this one. I think it does so much so well. It did Colin McRae a good tribute as well. I think you could just tell they put a lot of love in that game. So much personality as well. It's kind of like the Pro Street of rally games. And for me personally, it's a masterpiece. A game I will always remember. So, moving on to Dirt 3. I'm gonna be honest, Dirt 3 was a bit of a step down. A bit of a step down. I know a lot of people love Dirt 3, and I think it's mostly because most people only played Dirt 3 and not Dirt 2. And kind of myself included, like I initially just started off with Dirt 3. Like when it released, I saw like someone on YouTube playing it, and I was like, hey, this is good shit. But then I actually played Dirt 2, and I was like, wow, this is so much better. I think Dirt 3 is a solid A. I think for S, it's just kind of missing a bit of the personality. Not that it has no personality. I feel like the career was just a bit too boring. Sure, it had like Gymkhana, and I actually enjoyed Gymkhana. I feel like I'm one of the only people that played Dirt 3 and actually enjoyed the Gymkhana stuff. But I was just kind of missing something. I was missing like the atmosphere, I was missing the soundtrack, I was missing you know, the interesting progression, like that you had like rivals. You know, you had like, you know, all of these people, like actual people in Dirt 2 that were your opponents. Like actual rally drivers, and you could either be friends with them, or, you know, if you ran them a lot, they would hate you, and, you know, you could be rivals. Like that kind of stuff, it helped make Dirt 2 feel a lot more alive. And you just can't really say that with Dirt 3. Dirt 3 is just kind of like next race, next race, next race, next race, next race. Until you complete like one of these weird triangles, and then you move on to the next one. That being said, it's still good. Like the driving is fun, and it looks a lot better, and I think it actually has a little bit more variety. But I feel like something just got lost along the way. It's still a good racing game. Dirt 3 is still great. So I totally get when like people get annoyed with the Gymkhana stuff. For me personally, I like the Gymkhana stuff because it just helped with the variety. It, you know, breathed some fresh air into the game. So I don't mind it as much. Yeah, dude, if you just start with Gymkhana, it's tough. I also had to learn it, but once you nail it and learn it down and then hunt all the platinum medals, it gets really fun. But yeah, still A tier. Dutch Showdown. It's actually been quite a while since I played it. I really liked the game when I played it, basically when it came out. Looking back though, it's even more of a step down from the 3, and I realized that they wanted to do a spin-off. You know, Dutch Showdown by all accounts, by all means and purposes, is a spin-off. That being said, I think it's still enjoyable. I think the Destruction Derby is great. Not like as good as in like Flatout, but still pretty good. Gymkhana I feel like was a bit stepped down, because it's a lot more simple and basically only need one hand to pull it off at this point. And the racing also didn't feel as exciting. I would still put it into B. I think this is still a pretty fun one. It's just a fun game you can just play once and then you're done with it. It died super fast though. It's like low B tier, yeah. If there was like a B minus, I would put it into B minus. But I feel like Dutch Showdown got way too much hate. It's not that bad. It's just not as good. I feel like, you know, for a spin-off they also could have done more, because if you think about it, since this is a spin-off, the only thing this really adds or does differently is some Destruction Derby. I guess what pissed most people off is that it doesn't have like licensed cars. I mean it does, but only for like the Gymkhana stuff. I feel like at least for the races they should have went with licensed cars. This game didn't have good online. Yeah, I don't even know, because the online for this game just wasn't there, man. The online for this game just wasn't there. On the prototype of Juice 1. Interesting. Dot 4. Let's see. I think that's a C tier. Dot 4 was such a disappointment, and I went in with zero expectations. I feel like Dot 4 was just it was just kind of a disaster, because no one cared about this game when it got announced. I think not many people cared that this game existed. Like if you go on YouTube, like the announcement trailer has less than 1 million views, I think. So like marketing for this game was poor, so it sold really poorly. And to be honest, if you guys didn't play Dot 4, you didn't really miss much. I think the handling and the rallying itself is okay. What really killed it for me was just that the career was among the most repetitive I've ever had. And on top of that, the stages were most boring you can imagine. Because Dot 4 had this the system where it actually generates the tracks automatically, like procedurally generated tracks. And that sounds really fun and cool on paper, because that means endless tracks, right? But really what it really means in reality is that every track feels the same. Every track feels the same. They're all different, but they all feel the same. Because they have like only... how do I explain this? So there's 5 locations, you know, 5 locations for rallying. Which is like the main thing. There's only rally and rallycross. I'll talk about rallycross in a bit. But rallying has 5 locations, and those 5 locations, the tracks for those locations get generated. Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea, because it is. Because it sounds like, oh well, then we have like infinite track combinations, but the problem is every track ends up looking the same. Right? Like I can't tell the difference between my first time in my first procedurally generated Michigan track and my 10th one. It feels like I'm just driving the same track. Sure, it's different, but you don't really feel it, because it looks it looks the same. And the problem is also, since they are generated, there is no highlights. There's nothing going on in these tracks. Like, when I remember the tracks in Dirt 2, they were fantastic. You had like these cliff sides and those seas and like so much going on, like jungles, like so much variety in the tracks. Dirt 4, the track looks completely the same from start to finish. There is no highlights, nothing. It's just flat track from start to end, with like just a bunch of trees and maybe some hills. Yeah, it's POG on paper, but since they only had 5 locations, it felt like the game only had 5 tracks. And again, it wasn't even good tracks, it was very boring tracks. Like, I think Michigan was one of them. It's literally just forest. And there's nothing interesting. Like, no houses, no cliffs, no nothing. No waterfalls, just trees. And then you had the Rallycross, and this one was even worse. Because for Rallycross, they didn't generate the tracks. Like, for Rallycross, they actually made the tracks by hand. But they were so boring. Like, the Rallycross tracks for Dirt 2 and 3 were really fun. Like, you had, like, you know, splitting paths in the middle of the city. Like, the Tokyo track was really fun, for example. Dude, the rally tracks in Dirt 4 were just plain boring, man. Actually, it had some other race modes like Land Rush and whatever, but it's essentially all just Rallycross tracks. Super boring. Nothing interesting. But the kicker is that Dirt 4, in addition to it being like really repetitive, where after like 1 hour of play you've already seen everything, it went on and on and on and on. It wastes your time so hard. That's why I'm putting it into C. It's not the worst, like it's not D, because the driving itself is still fun. And there's like fun to be had with like the management, like you have like your own team and you can do some stuff there, but it gets boring really fast. Favorite Eurobeat song? Don't have one, I think. Yeah, I know for like Rallycross they picked real tracks, but I don't want real tracks because the real tracks are really fucking boring. I much preferred the fantasy tracks. It is boring. It gets boring really fast. And the thing is, there was also like one thing I really liked about Dirt 2 and Showdown is that you had like this free roam mode, right? Where you could do like where you had like certain objectives and collectibles, and you get stuff if you do this stuff. Dirt 4 has it as well, but there's nothing to do. Nothing. Like, you just have an open map. There's nothing to do, nothing to like. It's just there. It's pretty sad. But it's C tier. Dirt 5. Probably the most recent game we have in the list. What do you guys think? The worst part of Dirt 4 is the last championship where there were 6 stages for 6 locations. Yeah, basically, right? It's just really repetitive. Which is bad because there is not a lot of variety in the game already. People are saying D and garbage. I have a hard time putting Dirt 5 in the same category as dangerous driving. I would honestly put this into C as well. If there was like a D plus or a C minus, I would put it there. Dirt 5 is pretty disappointing, but I still don't think it's that bad. Like, the handling and the physics aren't there. The game modes aren't really there. Car list isn't really there. Like, it's all just not really there. You have this track builder, which actually is a cool idea, but there is just not a lot of space and not a lot of materials to actually make like cool and interesting tracks. It's just everything is a mixed bag with this game. The only thing that really isn't a mixed bag is the tracks. The tracks are it's basically, look, this is basically the exact polar opposite from Dirt 4. Right? Where like in Dirt 4 everything, like the driving sucks, but the tracks are nice, and in Dirt 4 the driving is nice but the tracks suck. Like, those two are pretty much polar opposites, which basically puts them on the same level. I think the main issue I personally had with Dirt 5 that doesn't really get brought up is how slow it is. Cars barely ever reach more than 150 kilometers per hour, which is baffling. Like, it is literally the slowest racing game I've ever played. And you drive like really fast cars at some point, but they just aren't fast. I also don't like how every car is like hard-coded to drift automatically. I always found that so off-putting during like gameplay trailers. And when like gameplay was released, I found it really weird, and it felt weird. Like I don't want to drift 24/7 and lose all my speed. And yeah, it doesn't really help that Dirt 5 was also dead on arrival. It's another C tier, man. So we have two more Dirt games. We've been talking about these Dirt games quite a while, huh? Yeah, Dirt 5 doesn't even have Rally, which is like extra Pepega. Yeah, the car's always drift. You can't drive a car and not drift. It's impossible. Dirt Rally 1. I'll try to remember. The thing is, I played so much Dirt Rally 2, I don't really remember much from Dirt Rally 1. I think Dirt Rally 1... I think it's an A. I don't remember much, so I can't really talk much about it. But it was definitely a bit of a revelation. I think it released in 2015, right? So like 4 years after Dirt 3. It's definitely great because it was like the first proper kind of like challenging rally game since the Colin McRae rally games, right? So it was nice. The problem I had with Dirt Rally is just how repetitive it was. At least the career. I guess it was okay. I feel like Dirt Rally 1 just kind of feels like a draft a little bit. But it's still good. I wouldn't put Dirt Rally 1 on the same level as Dirt Showdown. It's still good. If you buy, especially because it was free at certain points, I think you can have like a decent time with Dirt Rally 1. Now if we move on to Dirt Rally 2, it's either S or A. It's certainly better than Dirt Rally 1. I'm just not sure if it's that much better that it warrants being in S tier. Because Dirt Rally 2's career is really boring. Probably one of the most boring careers I've ever seen in a racing game. But the driving is chef's kiss. They nailed the driving. It looks great. The tracks are nice, but I will say it's a game that I actually forgot to add the WRC. WRC 8, I played that recently and it opened my eyes with like how good a track can be in a rally game. I think I'll still put it in A. I think the Rally 2 is better, but it's not good enough for S tier. I think those two games are both A tier. It's so good. I've definitely enjoyed the Rally 2 a lot more, especially because they updated so much content. Shit was kind of shitty how they sold the content that was already in Dirt Rally 1 as DLC. That was pretty shitty. But they added a lot of content. Like currently I'm playing the Colin McRae campaign, and it's actually really interesting because it has like certain objectives you need to hit, like finish the stage without taking mechanical damage or whatever. Like it does a little bit more than just get first. The Rally 1 S, the Rally 2 is A. I feel like the Rally 2 is better. I feel like it just offers more content. It's just more. They did take the Trailblazer out, which is sad, but then again, I personally found Trailblazer and the Rally 1 pretty boring. Not the driving itself, but they just didn't do much with it. I'm probably gonna have to open the windows. Super hot. Like the Trailblazer and the Rally 1 was just kind of repetitive. Why don't I like Asphalt 9? Well, because no one can tell me why it's good. Besides graphics. So I think I'll leave Dirt Rally 2 on the same level as Dirt Rally 1, although I prefer it more, but not enough for like S tier. Distance. I think it's S tier, man. Distance is fucking amazing. I think Distance is one of those games that you need to experience because it is an experience. And I haven't played it that much, sadly. I played the main career and some music-generated content, but that's really it. It is really good. Especially because I feel like it gives you an experience that you can't get anywhere else. Like, there's just nothing like Distance out there. I think what it sets out to do, if there's something to fault about this game, it's just that it's a bit short. Like the main career is just a bit short, but you can get so much more content out of the game with the arcade mode, which has like modded tracks from the community built up as like a career, and then you can still download more tracks and more content that can be really creative from the workshop. And since we said that we should take like mods into consideration when we rank this game's distance as it's actually a good list. Yeah, there's been a little bit of fighting for some of these entries here, but so far most of you guys agreed. Yeah, honestly, distance is fucking great. Good AC up in 1. I mean, that everyone always says like their own opinions, but I'm trying to make my own tier list here a little bit. But yeah, Distance, if you haven't played it yet, go try it out. It's super cheap. You can probably get it even cheaper on sale. What I always describe this game as is kind of like a horror racing game a little bit, although it isn't like super scary. It's like an interesting mix of racing game and horror and some platforming. Super cool. There's just nothing like Distance. Drive Club. This is a hard one for me to rank since we do take DLCs into consideration. However, I have only played the base game of Drive Club. And I will say, open and honest, just the base game of Drive Club felt kind of short. Thanks very much. I will say, like, what I played was really good. I'm not sure if it deserves the masterpiece spot because I can't really tell. I haven't played the DLCs. I know the DLCs added so much to the game. I feel like I'm gonna get lynched if I don't put this into masterpiece. I mean, I feel like I need to put this into masterpiece because there really is not a game out there to this day. This game is like getting 7 years old this year. And there still hasn't been a single racing game out there since that translated what it feels like to drive a car as well as this one. Not talking about like realistic handling, but just the feeling of the cars, the sound, the experience, what it feels like to race and to drive. There's just been nothing like it, man. So I feel like although I only played like the base career, and the career itself was kind of meh, because it just felt kind of short, and I feel like if I did play the DLCs, I would probably have no hard time putting this into the masterpiece category. Yeah, I mean, it is by all intents and purposes. I think the fact that people still talk about this game to this day just kind of cements it. You know what's funny? I think I've only said this to I've only told this to Kuru. So the other day, I was browsing YouTube, and there was a YouTube a video that got recommended to me, and it was titled Drive Club PS5 in brackets 4K. So it's literally just Drive Club running on PS5. Now Drive Club doesn't really have any sort of enhancements for PlayStation 5. It's literally, it runs the same way and looks the same way as it did on PlayStation 4. The video had 3.3 million views at the time, and in the comments were a bunch of people that were saying, holy shit, next gen graphics so good! Oh my god, PS5 graphics so good! So people mistake Drive Club for a PS5 game, like a current gen game. I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot. And the thing is, like, usually I don't rank graphics that highly. Like, graphics aren't that important, but I feel like what Drive Club does with the graphics, not just how good they look, but also like the feeling you get from driving. And what it feels like to drive in a thunderstorm or in a snowstorm. It's just unlike anything else, man. So I think for that reason, just for the feeling of driving, you just can't get that anywhere else. And that's why I have to put it into the masterpiece territory. But I will still say, like, the base career is pretty lackluster. Like, you need the DLCs. which I haven't played. Alright. So now we move on to the Driver franchise. Only put 3 games in there. I could have obviously put Driver 3 and Parallel Lines in there and I guess some else, but who cares about these? Driver 1 and 2, I actually played these. I played all of these. Last time I played Driver 1 was probably like 2 years ago on a PS1 emulator. It is unplayable without save states. I'm gonna be honest, it is so unplayable without save states. It is brutal. It will tear you a new one. And I still think the last mission of Driver 1 is the most bullshit thing you will ever see in a racing game. Now we gotta remember, Driver 1 came out in, I think, 1999 or 1998, I don't even know. The PlayStation 1. And at the time it was pretty revolutionary. Because it was like one of the first racing games with an open world. Graphics looked pretty good at the time. Does it hold up? I think it does. Surprisingly, it kind of does. It certainly says a lot that these fucking like 2-decade-old Driver games have better handling than a lot of modern racing games like Dirt 5. Genuinely. I think the handling in both of these games is really solid, even to this day. When would I put him? I think I'll put Driver 1 in C tier, on B tier. And Driver 2, honestly, this gets an A tier from me, man. You gotta like boomer games a little bit. If you have like zero tolerance for like old games, you will not get the same amount of enjoyment out of these. But honestly, both of these are fucking great. And the thing is, I have like zero nostalgia for Driver 1. Driver 2 was one of my very first, actually probably the very first racing game I ever played. And it's good stuff. It's good stuff. For like PlayStation 1, this is probably the best racing game you could pick up. And one thing I know actually about Driver 2, I'm not sure if that stuff exists for Driver 1, but there's actually an unofficial PC port for Driver 2, which actually makes the game look really good and run really nicely. Downside is you have no save states, and I still stand by my point, you can't play these games without save states. These games will tear you a new one. I never played Driver 3, but I also didn't include it here. Never played Driver 3. Like, without save states, these games are almost too difficult, where it just feels like trial and error and getting lucky. Still fucking great. I think those two are just classics. All-time classics. Driver San Francisco. Would anyone be angry if I call this a masterpiece? I think it is. I think it deserves the masterpiece spot. It took so many risks and introduced something so unique to the racing genre that has never been seen since. And I'm not just talking about the ability to shift into like different, different cars. Also just the fact that there is a ridiculous amount of scenarios. You can shift into a car and you're like, one moment you can shift into a car and you're like some sort of like delivery driver who's like late on like his pizza delivery. Then you can shift into another car and you're in an ambulance, and then you have like this fucking Karen pressuring you to drive faster. Then you can shift into like, I don't know, another car, and then there's just kind of like this suicidal bitch with you that just drugged you. Like, there is so many scenarios. It is wild. I feel like every time I play this game, I find something new. It is like a breathing, living thing, this game. Like, if we're talking like from when I talked about Dirt 2, I was talking how Dirt 2 feels like super alive with the characters that you can like befriend or make rivals with. Dude, Driver San Francisco is like the definition of a game that is like alive and breathing. And all of these side missions too have like their scenarios. You can be like a college student who's like trying to raise money because he spent all this money for cars instead of his college degree. Or you can be, I don't know, like there's just so much. It does more than just being a good racing game. It's also a well-written game with like lots of interesting stories, Super, super alive world. It's fucking fantastic. And yeah, on top of that, it's still a good racing game. Like, the handling is good, the story is good, it's not repetitive. There's so much variety, so many different cars, map is great. Like, what's there not to like about Driver, man? Yeah, even the second person mission, which has kind of been like notorious, I guess. Not notorious, it's not the right word, but well known. One car which has a father who's proud of his daughter driving, and yeah, it's just such an interesting game. It has to be a masterpiece. Yeah, I also have the collector's edition of Driver San Francisco, which I'm really proud of. It's just there will just never ever be another game like Driver San Francisco. It's just how it is. It took so many risks, and I feel like it paid off in an experience that is so unique. There's just nothing like it. Amazing game. So man, we still have this many left to do, and I've been in this for an hour already. Enthusia, professional racing. I actually played this on stream a couple months ago. It's kind of like a Gran Turismo / Forza clone. Yeah, that's really all I remember. I'm trying to remember if it had like anything noteworthy. It had some interesting cars. Apparently like the way the cars react to inputs was like really unique at the time, because it had like a really realistic suspension model. I remember there was like a video that, you know, compared like real life to Enthusia. But at the end of the day, that shit doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, what matters is if it's a fun racing game or not. I will say it's okay. I will say it's okay. I feel like it had some weird progression. I don't even remember quite how the progression works. It's a bit weird, but I feel like at the end of the day it was still enjoyable. Like I didn't regret my time playing with like the 4 and 5. It's an interesting Gran Turismo clone if you want to check it out. The Enthu points, yeah. It's certainly interesting, but at the end of the day it just kind of felt like, you know, another clone. Nothing really too special. Can you hear like the bells outside? They're really loud. We're gonna have to close the window again. But it's okay. There isn't really much to say about it. Euro Truck Simulator 2. I decided to just add this as well because fuck it. You hear it? Oh, god damn it. Shit! Actually, let me give me a second here. Okay, sorry for the wait. Euro Truck Simulator 2. Not really a racing game, but I still decided to include it because why not? Certainly more of a game you just play to chill. It's more of a chill game. Not sure where I would rank it. I remember doing like one stream of Euro Truck Simulator 2. And people got so triggered how I played the game, because I basically played the game on controller in third person, full speed. Full speed ahead. Just full speed. Because that's how I enjoy the game. I know a lot of people, they play with the wheel and they play in first person, and you know, they you know, they take care of like the road rules and everything, don't run any red lights, and you know, make it safe. Dude, I just went full speed. I had a blast, man. Yeah, it's super repetitive. Like you do after an hour, you've kind of seen everything already, but it's a really interesting chill game. Hey, Knight.
You forget the one thing about Enthusia, the Cat Jam OST.
Hell yeah, Knight. Let's hear it. Thanks for the dono. That was good, yeah. The soundtrack was good. Thanks for the share. So when I put ETS, I would put it in like a B+ tier, if I could. Yeah, it's definitely difficult to place here. I would probably put it into B. If it's your thing, you would probably put it into A, maybe S. There's definitely people that spend thousands of hours in this game. And you can mod the shit out of it too. I definitely know, like, if you get all the map expansions, you have an insanely massive map. I guess, you know what, considering that there's so much map and it's all super different, I would probably put it into A. If we take into account the DLCs, the game has a ridiculously massive map. And it's since, you know, it covers like most of Europe at this point, there's so much variety. I think if ETS2 is your thing, you can have fun with it. And dude, I'm not even a fan of trucks. But I just had so much fun just playing it with controller third person, just blasting through everything. Like, fuck all the road laws, like, fuck everything. Just get that shitty fucking delivery over there. I had fun, man. I think the physics are good. So moving on, I only added 2 F1 games. One kind of representative as like the older F1 games, how they used to be, and then just kind of like the newest one. F1 2012 is kind of like the Grid 2 among F1 games. I would say it's more Simcade. It's more Simcade than anything else, really. It's definitely more forgiving and everything than F1 2020, and F1 2020 is a game you play like with a wheel, and I mean you can do that with 2012 too, but F1 2012 I personally played with a controller in third person, and it was super enjoyable. It was super enjoyable. I really enjoyed F1 2012. I think it's an A tier for me. It's definitely, like, those two are super different. Like, the new F1 games and, like, F1 2011, 2010, 2012, like, those are completely different games. They play completely different. ETS2 and ATS actually have supported multiplayer in beta. Hey, that's nice. Don't actually need the mod anymore. But 2012 is kind of like a Simcade. You can play it with controller, use third person, and, you know, can have an enjoyable experience with it. Now, F1 2020 I actually didn't play. I actually held off on playing that because I think now I'm just waiting for 2021 to release, and then I'm probably gonna get that one. Unless it's dog shit, if there's like some EA shenanigans. They had like a ton of like microtransactions and shit. I'm probably gonna go back to and buy 2020. I did play 2018 because it was free, and it's very similar, I would probably argue. Sure, it doesn't have all the features. Sure, it might have some differences, but the core of the game is still very much the same. And that I would probably also put in A tier, maybe even S. I'm not sure. Definitely great games, the new F1 games. Even if you don't like, dude, I'm not into F1. Like, I don't watch F1. I'll be honest, guys. I don't watch F1. I don't watch any sport. And I don't really care. But I feel like the new F1 games are just kind of the spiritual successor to what Grid used to be, because Grid 1 was like this really great game where you could like manage stuff and do stuff. You can now do that in F1. I feel like the soul of Grid has kind of moved on or lived on in the F1 games. I have not played 2020, but I would probably argue it's probably somewhere in S or A tier. So, Flatout. We have reached Flatout. Starting with Flatout 1, which I played this or last year. It's an interesting one. I see a lot of people writing A for Flatout 1. It's pretty good. Considering this is like the first game they made in the franchise, and it's pretty old. Yeah, I would put this into A2. It got pretty frustrating sometimes. And it certainly isn't perfect, but I feel like quality-wise, it's good enough for A. I agree with most of you guys. It's still like fairly simplistic, but at the end of the day, I think the damage model was pretty revolutionary in the physics. If you think about when it came out, like damage and physics were insane for the time. Absolutely insane. Certainly a good game. And I think there's something to be said that I played this a couple months ago, despite it being like 15 plus years old, and I still enjoyed it a lot. It was a bit frustrating near the end, but I mean, it didn't really hinder my enjoyment. So if you're just curious into the first Flatout, go check it out. Flatout 2, and I guess we can add Ultimate Carnage as well. Is it really masterpiece material? Like let's take a break. Let's take a step back for now. Is it really masterpiece material? What makes Flatout masterpiece material? I think it has to be. Because I think Flatout 2 is just a neck above Burnout 2 and all of these three games. Hey Rosetta, thanks for the gift sub to anyone, appreciate it. I didn't hear about the Horizon announcement, I'll keep an eye out. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I think Flatout 2 and with that also Ultimate Carnage have to be masterpiece material. Simply because those two games you just can always go back to and enjoy. Like I think those two, okay, I think I've figured out why these two games are masterpiece material. Because they're timeless. Those two games will never get old. In 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, you can still pick these games up and fully enjoy. Fully enjoy. And I mean that's true to a lot of games here, let's be honest, but I think those two are just particularly timeless. And I think that's what makes them absolute masterpieces. And they also have like a shit ton of like personality. Physics are great, handling is great. So many game modes, guys. The stunt mode alone. Like that stuff is great. I think they deserve the masterpiece spot. So yeah, Flatout 2, Ultimate Carnage, basically on the same level. Hey JDG, thanks for the gift up too, Spooncat, appreciate it. Ultimate Carnage added a bit more content. Obviously, it's kind of like a remaster, like an actually good remaster though. Makes the game look better, and adds a lot more content. Soundtrack kind of sucked, sadly. Like they changed the soundtrack and kind of sucked. But still, both absolutely fantastic. And that brings us to Flatout 3. Welcome to the garbage tier. We found another victim. Where's Bickerix? Right here. Right next to it. Welcome to the garbage tier. I mean, if Flatout 3 being the worst rated game on the entirety of Steam isn't enough of a giveaway that this one deserves the garbage tier spot, I don't know what does. If this one, like this, think about that. Like, think about the amount of games there are on Steam. You have RPGs, shooters, action games, strategy games, sports games, and out of all of these things, out of all of these like tens and thousands of games, one game ranks on top for having the lowest rating for the Steam reviews, and it is Flatout 3. It deserves the garbage tier spot so hard. For that reason alone. And it is garbage. The handling is awful. The physics are awful. Game modes are mobile game stuff. It's stuff that you would find on like free mobile games. Graphics are awful. Soundtrack is awful. I guess there's nothing about Flatout 3 that I could say is good. The stunt mode is awful. And it's just, yeah, it has not a single redeeming feature. If there's like one thing that maybe comes to mind, is that it has like a pretty wide variety of like game modes, but that doesn't mean if they all are super lethal. Like, if you have a game mode where the entire point is to run over as many zombies as possible, and that feels like a game that you downloaded on the deepest depths of the App Store, that doesn't really mean anything that it exists. Straight garbage here. In the bin. So, and that leaves us with Flatout 4. Actually, never played it. Anyone here that played Flatout 4? From what I gathered, it seems it's not as much of a crash as Flatout 3, but it's also nowhere near as good as even Flatout 1. I think a lot of people are saying C, and I think that there's probably some truth to it. C or B. I'd have to play it myself to be perfectly sure. It's okay, certainly. It's certainly okay. I don't think it's one of the worst racing games you can ever play. Yeah, Flatout 3 is actually the worst game on Steam. Like, just judging by Steam reviews. But actually it got beaten the other day. But it was by an expansion, not a game. So it is still the worst rated game in like literally the entirety of Steam. And again, like, there's tens of thousands of games on Steam. AAA, indies, tons of like every genre. And this ranks on top for the worst rated one. When your brother played it, you can say it's B. I mean,
Baba Booey.
I never played it, so it's getting in the never played tier, but yeah, I think CB is where most people would put it. Speaking of games I never played, Ford Racing, gotta be honest, never played both of them. 2 and 3 is probably the most... I know this is also the first one, but who cares about the first one? But from what I gathered, Ford Racing 2 is actually pretty decent, like A, B, somewhere there. And 3 is like a little bit of a step down, although there's still people that enjoy that one more. But that one's probably more C, B material. I never played the Ford Racing games. Maybe I should do that on stream sometime. 3 is a B, C for you. Yeah, I mean, it's like these third-party racing games, you know. And but I guess 2 was kind of surprisingly good for most people. But yeah. So, I can give you the files for Ford Racing 2. I mean, you can. I'm pretty sure you can find them myself. It's probably not that hard to find. I'm actually like a wet something. Yeah, Forza. And we're starting out with Forza Horizon. Guys, you guys can tell me what you want, but this is straight masterpiece. Horizon 1, straight masterpiece. No questions asked. Like, there's no debate about it. Forza Horizon opened my eyes to like what a good experience for like racing is, and what, like, you know, it does so much right. I have so many like fond memories to Horizon, like specific moments that don't really mean much, where it's just me driving in a specific spot with a specific car. But since I remember all of these like kind of meaningless things, it just kind of shows how memorable this game is. It is a masterpiece. It doesn't even do much, but what it does, it just completely nails. Map is fantastic, atmosphere is fantastic, car is fantastic, cars generally fantastic, handling fantastic, music fantastic, single player progression fantastic, multiplayer fantastic. Like, this is just all straight good stuff. Considering this was the first game that they made, and like this is the first entry in the franchise. This is a straight banger, man. Yeah, it has so much personality. It probably has more personality than all these games here. And that says a lot, because there's a lot of stuff here. Horizon 1 is just the for me personally, it's just the penultimate driving experience. What makes you think the driving handling was bad? I mean, the handling certainly wasn't as good as it could have been, because the game ran in 30 FPS. I actually think that the handling was like actually particularly good, because it was like the cars behaved like they would in real life. Like, it wasn't like brake to drift, but it also wasn't like, I don't know, let's say Need for Speed Most Wanted, where they were just gripping non-stop. Like, they were still like, they felt realistic without being like actually realistic. Does that make any sense? Probably not. But yeah, Horizon 1 was just chef's kiss, and I don't think they'll ever make another game as good as Horizon 1. Which brings us to the next Horizon games. Horizon 2. I think it's just an A. S masterpiece? Nah, man. I think Horizon 2 was a bit of a step back. It's certainly still good. It's certainly still really good. But where's my fun career? Where are the characters? Where's the atmosphere? I guess the atmosphere is still there, but it's just not as strong. The map was just kind of like... everything kind of looked the same. It just kind of wasn't there for me. It's certainly still good, and it still delivers like a good racing experience, and I can totally understand if people give this like still an S rating. Perfectly fine. For me, it was just an A. I played a lot of it. It was literally the only reason why I bought an Xbox One. Kanukulava, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Yeah, looking back on it, it was just kind of like a bit of the personality got lost that Horizon 1 had. Horizon 1 just still has the edge when it comes to soundtrack, single player and progression, and just a bunch of other things too, that I think just help cement Horizon 1 as a masterpiece. And especially because I feel like Horizon 2, since you gotta remember, Horizon 1 is a 360 game. This is a 1 game, and sure, this looks better. But I didn't just expect it to look better, but also like offer more. And that's where it was just kind of like, eh. This is a tier list for all racing games across all platforms, yeah. All the noteworthy ones. Obviously, there's not everything in here, but it's 147 games. So yeah, Horizon 2, for me, is still A tier, because it's still an enjoyable game. It's still great. You can have lots of fun with it, but it's just like... It usually fails to keep me hooked for as long as Horizon 1. Horizon 3, however... This is a tough one, man. I was super hyped for the game. I even made like a shit ton of videos on it. This is a tough one, dude. It's definitely somewhere between S and A. Dude, Horizon 3 has a lot of content though. The map was a mixed bag in a way where the map in Horizon 3 it offers like a lot of variety. Like you have like the rainforest and the outback, and you have like the city, and you have the coast area, and you have like everything in between. But the track design is just kind of like meh. There isn't really a lot of like elevation or like anything interesting going on. So it's a mixed bag. It's better than Horizon 2 in my opinion. Some people would disagree. I think I'll put it into A tier as well. It's hard for me to put this into either A or S, but if I consider Horizon 4, and if I consider what is here as well, I think this is A. I think it's better than Horizon 2, but not as good, not that good that it deserves S tier. Horizon 4, however, deserves the S tier. Although I think Horizon 4 shows many signs of what's kind of like wrong with racing games. But if we just look at Horizon 4, like if we just take a few steps back and just look at Horizon 4, it offers so much, dude. Like you can buy the game and you can spend like fucking months on this, dude. That being said, you know, I don't like how they throw cars at you and nothing really ever feels earned. The over-reliance on cosmetics is a bit ridiculous. I don't like how fucked multiplayer ranked was, and probably still is. But since we, you know, also rank these games as to what they are now and not what they were when they released, dude, Horizon 4 offers so much, man. You have the Eliminator mode, you have a track editor now, you can build your own tracks, dude, with like objects and stuff. You can do so much, man. The only thing that falls short, in my opinion, with all of the Forza Horizon since Horizon 2 is the single player. Horizon 2, 3, and 4, in all of these, the single player falls short. But I feel like I think about Horizon 4 in a very similar way as I think about BeamNG, where I feel like Horizon 4 is a bit of a sandbox racing game. It's meant to be played in multiplayer. You're meant to like just jump from one thing to the next and just have like a bunch of shit thrown at you in the process. I'm sure that's not for everything. It's not for everyone. It's certainly not for me, hence why I don't really play it as much anymore. But dude, when I played it, holy fuck, I had a great time. Holy fuck, I had a great time. I spent full price for this and I definitely got my money's worth. I think the only thing where Horizon 4 just kind of fell short was the DLCs. I don't think the DLCs were as good. Honestly, I think none of the Horizon games ever had like really good DLC. Not even Horizon 1. I think only the Hot Wheels expansion, from what I heard, was like the only really good one. All Horizons need bigger maps. Personally, I would prefer a map that is more alive and detailed than a big map. But I do agree that Horizon 4's map could have been a bit bigger. But Horizon 4's map is good though. Like it has a lot of variety, and since it also has the seasons, that also helps cement it into S tier, if you ask me. Like the map is just a big selling point with Horizon 4. It's fucking fantastic. Problem with the thing with like, if we compare the maps of Horizon 3 and 4, they're kind of polar opposites. Where Horizon 3 has like a lot of variety within the map, you know, as I was saying, like it has rainforest, you know, desert, like all kinds of shit, but it's super flat and not really fun to drive on. And Horizon 4 is like really fun to drive on. You have like really interesting roads, lots of elevation, ups and downs, but it kind of all looks the same. Right? It kind of all looks the same with the exception of Edinburgh. But therefore you have the seasons to kind of elevate that, so that actually really helps a lot. Yeah, if Horizon 4 had as strong of a single player and also as much character and personality as Horizon 1, it would probably exceeded Horizon 1 for me. But that's just kind of the stuff that is missing to cement it as a masterpiece, you know? Because all of these games in the masterpiece category, they all ooze with personality. And I can't say that about Horizon 4. If there's one thing that Horizon 4 doesn't have, it's personality. Still good enough to put into S tier though. So moving on, and we have the Forza Motorsport games. I have actually not played Forza Motorsport 3, so I can't really say much about it, but I did play Motorsport 4, and dude, it's S, man. It's S tier. Maybe, honestly, maybe even masterpiece, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Motorsport 4 is a masterpiece. It's definitely S. No questions asked. Motorsport 3 could swap a ZR1 and Chevy. I think it's just missing a little bit. But I'm trying to think in which department. What is missing what's missing for Motorsport 4 to not put it into masterpiece? It has the car list. The driving experience is nice. Tracks are great. Dude, the whole Jeremy Clarkson thing was brilliant. Where they had like Jeremy Clarkson like talk a lot about like I think a selection of like 30 to 40 cars. Yeah, I think the no story thing. Yeah, I think that's what I would agree with. It's just like next event, next event, next event, next event, next event with like no stopping. I think the single player is a bit too simplistic for it to be put into masterpiece. Like there isn't really much to do outside of just doing the next race. That being said, it's still being done very well. Like you get money, you can like then with that money buy cars, you get prize cars, and then you have like restricted events where you have to pick like certain cars that have to fulfill certain restrictions. And overall, it's just such a nice game, dude. It's a 360 game. It plays like a fucking next-gen game. At least at the time, next-gen. It was so good. The whole Clarkson thing was phenomenal. where they had him brought in, and he talks like a lot about the cars that he personally experienced. And then you drive like certain challenges with these cars. Like Motorsport 4 is still great. So great. S tier. One of the best Syndicate ever made. So Motorsport 5 and 6, although I did have an Xbox One for like a few years, I did not play. I did play this weird Apex demo of Motorsport 6 on PC, and I liked it. But it's just that it was so little. I can't really use that as like an excuse to say I played Motorsport 6. I usually hear people saying Motorsport 5 is probably the weakest one. Because it kind of felt more of a tech demo for like the Xbox One, and it had like a shit ton of microtransactions that were like really egregious. And Motorsport 6 was like a really nice step forwards, but yeah, I don't know. Can't really talk about these, haven't played them. That being said, they're probably also all very similar. With the inclusion of Motorsport 7, which I think I'll put it to B tier. No TDU? Dude, TDU is in the list. It's right here, man. Motorsport 7. I think the main thing that drags it down is that it's just kind of bland. Anyone, thanks for continuing your gift sub. Nah, I think like the base for Motorsport 7 is pretty good, but it's so far away from the greatness of Motorsport 4. And you won, reverting the gift sub back to Rosetta. Thank you, man. I think Motorsport 7 is just so far away from 4. It has none of the brilliance. It's just... The problem that Motorsport 4 had with just racing is elevated even more. And you have like no freedom at all in Motorsport 7. You can pick your races, and the races, you know, they usually have like certain restrictions or like certain themes, and you can buy a car. But the main problem I have with this, hey GrimX, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. The main problem I have with Forza 7, it auto upgrades your cars. Am I the only one that finds this so bad? Am I the only one that finds this so bad? Like usually you have these events and they usually have like a set performance rating. Like you need to be, the cars need to be like class A or class S or you know whatever. And the car, you can pick a car and then the car gets upgraded for you. Throughout my entire playthrough of Forza Motorsport 7, I never even went into like the upgrade section because it's not necessary. Like the entire concept of upgrading cars is not a thing. It's just you pick a car, it gets upgraded automatically, and then you just race. What's the fun in that? Let me upgrade the cars on my own. It killed the fun for me, man. It made this game a lot more repetitive. Because you're just moving from next race to next race, next race, next race, and you're not doing anything. And yeah, it has basically no personality, which is like a common problem of like a lot of modern racing games. What else is there to say? It looks pretty bland. Is it just me? Like Motorsport 4 looked fucking great, like color and lighting wise. This looks really dull. Motorsport 7 is really dull to look at. That being said, still has great handling, great sounds. So it's like, you know, the act of driving is still fun, but it gets very boring very fast. And I usually drop Forza Motorsport 7 pretty fast every time I pick it up. So yeah, it's just kind of, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Fuel. Also never played this one. Kind of a racing game that gets swept under the rug a lot. But I also heard people don't really like it as much. So I don't know, I can't really talk much about Fuel. All I know, it had like a massive map. Like actually massive. Like that is like as big as like a whole fucking state in the United States. It's insane. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know much about it. Sadly, I can't buy it anymore. They actually took it off the store, so yeah. Well, you guys knew it would come down to this Garfield Kart. D or garbage? Is it D or garbage? Horizon 4 is S tier. D, C, garbage. Garbage. Has any of you guys actually played Garfield Kart or just watched it? I think playing it is a much more miserable experience than just watching it. The handling was so bad, I managed to glitch out the game within the first 3 minutes. Is it as bad as Big Rigs and Flatout 3 though? I don't think so, but I also don't think it's as good as Dangerous Driving. If there was like a D- or a garbage plus, I would put it there. Welcome to the garbage team. It is so miserable to play. If you guys haven't played it, do it. You will understand why I put it in the garbage tier. It is not just a bad fun racer, it is a bad racing game, period. I would genuinely pick Dangerous Driving over Garfield Kart without any doubt. Alright, Race Driver Grid 1. Dude, it has to be Masterpiece. It's another one. It's another one, man. It's another masterpiece. Name me one game that had as much going on as like in terms of like management and managing as Grid 1. Maybe the F1 games, but they also go for something different. Grid 1 is the masterpiece simply because it gives you more than just racing, so much more. It is like the very definition of depth in a racing game. Like it offers so much. You have so much to do outside of racing. It's so good, and the racing itself is fantastic. On top of it, it had so much variety, dude. You can just do like touring cars. You can do open wheelers. You can do toge, like in Japan, like full initial D style. Like, you can do drifting, and the drifting was really fun. There's just so much, dude. Like the game it just keeps on giving every time I play it. It was so good. Like you can play this game for 10 hours and still find something new to play with. The whole sponsors thing, or just generally like the whole management aspect of you have this team, you build it up, you start with this like kind of crappy second-hand Ford Mustang. And, you know, you build yourself up, you build a team, you get sponsors, you get more cars, you know, you get a teammate. Teammate is awful at first, but then you get better teammates. Like, it's just like, it builds up and up and up, and you kind of feel like you're building an empire near the end of the game, and it's great. And you had this rival of like Raven West, which were like way better than the rest of the fucking AI. And that helped the game feel so alive. So good. One of the best racing games ever made. Easily masterpiece material. So, and then we got Grid 2. So for a lot of people let down. Understandably so. I don't necessarily think just because of the handling, but because the management thing, which I just praised so much about Grid 1, actually got downgraded pretty hard. I still think, despite everything, Grid 2 deserves an A ranking. It is still super enjoyable. It's just a fun racing game, man. Like, you put up Grid 2, and as long as you don't hate the handling. I can understand if you hate the handling, it's fine. I don't. I boot up the game, I have fun with it. At some point I get bored. I think the whole like career was just kind of like a dumped down. It's still really good though. It's still really fun. And I played a decent amount of Grid 2 online. What bothered me online is just the downtime between races. That was pretty bad. Yeah, again, some of the variety got lost. Some of the management got lost. There's still some of it in there, but the racing itself is still pretty good, man. It's still an A game. I can't with good conscience put it in the same tier as like fucking Dodge Showdown. Or like fucking Cars. I can't. Drifting sucks though. Grid Autosport. You guys know, you guys already know how I feel about Grid Autosport. I don't feel like I need to say anything else. C tier. I have a burning hatred for this game because I feel like it just wastes my time. But at the end of the day, you still have like some nice variety. The handling is pretty okay, right? It looks fine. So I can't really put it in D tier because of these reasons. Like it offers something, but my main problem with Grid Autosport is it just wastes my fucking time. Why is it that I have to do the same race that I just did, that was 7 minutes long, again, every single time? There is no exception to this. Every race is way longer than it needs to be, and then you drive it again, every time. For no reason. And you have like the drifting, which is like the one thing that is like different. And you have this like 20 to 30 second run that you do, I shit you not, 14 times. 12 or 14 times. If you think Pro Street was bad, this gives you a whole new like definition of like grindy and repetition. And that is what killed this for me so hard, because the game just wastes your time. It doesn't respect your time whatsoever. And on top of that, it abandoned every single management aspect that made Grid 1 so good. There is nothing in this game. You don't even, like, currency is not even a thing. Like, you don't even earn money. You don't even buy cars. Like, none of that shit. You don't even choose liveries. It's just, you select an event, you select one of 3 cars maximum, and then you do the race, and then you do it again, and then you move on. And that's the entire game. Like, what the hell, man? That is why this is such a C tier game for me. By all means, not as bad as something like Dangerous Driving. Again, like the handling is still pretty good. You know, you have the variety, although there's like a lot of repetition. But my god, dude. So yeah, Autosport, welcome to this to C tier. Grid 2019, I think it's in a lot of ways very similar to Motorsport 7, where like the base game is good, but it just doesn't really do much with it, you know? It's not as bad as Autosport because Grid 2019 doesn't waste your time, and then, you know, it offers a bit more, you know, you're not in the same race for like half an hour. Sure, Grid Autosport has more variety, but that variety doesn't mean much if the variety itself is kind of irrelevant. Because, again, the game wastes your time. And you're bored like halfway in the race. Grid 2019 is still pretty much of a letdown. You literally just do racing. Nothing else. And yeah, overall it's just... sadly, it's just a boring game. I still think it's better than like Dirt 4, 5 and Grid Autosport. It's just a game, you know. That's like the thing. It's not a bad game. It's not a good, amazing game, let alone. It just exists. If you wanna like drive some cars with some decent handling, that's all you care about. If you care about graphics, go for it. But yeah, bland, I think, is the best word I can say. Alright, now we move on to Gran Turismo. I left out Gran Turismo 1 because I feel like Gran Turismo 2 is probably what most people care about. And Gran Turismo 2 I actually played for the first time last year. And that one is... man, I'm not sure, dude. Man, dude, considering this is a PlayStation 1 game that plays literally like a PS2 game, it has to be S tier. I could understand when some people put it into Masterpiece. But bro, considering this is a PS2 game, if you had this on your PS2 back in the day, holy fuck, you were set. You were so set. It's actually so good. I'm surprised how like it aged so well. It's just plain fun, man. Like it has like such a massive amount of cars and tracks. Korea was pretty weird at first because I didn't really understand the systems, but once I did, it actually started to click for me. It's fucking great. GT2 is just... Maybe I would have to put it into Masterpiece, but I mean, considering it is a PS1 game, probably like, I mean, it was pretty revolutionary. It was pretty revolutionary for racing games in terms of what it offered and what it looked like. Like, it looks insane for a PS1 game. Man, I'm gonna have to put this into Masterpiece. I don't think just putting it into S makes this game justice. It does so much. It is wild what it offers for a PS1 game. Fucking PS1. That game, the PS1 is equivalent to a fucking toaster, man. Insane game. Let's get real here. For PS1 it has insane graphics. So much content, and it's also really fun to play, like the handling and everything is just really fun. Can I hear again? What do you... just go back in the VOD. I'm already 2 hours in and I still have this many racing games. We still have like the entirety of Need for Speed in front of us. Yeah, I mean GT2 just has to be Masterpiece. I mean... anything else just wouldn't make the game justice. Gran Turismo 3. This is my childhood, man. First GT I ever played, and also probably played the most. Hey Tyron, thanks for the
Congratulations, you have earned a new prize car. Ta-da, it's a pink Vitz. Click X to accept your new prize car and start cursing.
You want me to show the video? I guess not. Thanks for Dono. Where do I put GT3, man? The thing is, this used to be my favorite one, but after playing 4 and some of the other Gran Turismos, it's hard for me to put this...
This one is officially not Masterpiece tier but God tier, the best game ever created and we should worship it. It's just the racing game. Everyone should play this. No doubt about it.
You mean 3? I think I'll put Gran Turismo 3 in A tier. I think that's very fair. I think Gran Turismo 3, for the longest time, was my favorite one because... Ow! Fuck me, man. For the longest time was my favorite because it didn't have this like stiff fucking camera. But looking back, the content is very thin. It's very thin. It's a very enjoyable game. It's still fun. You can still have a lot of fun with GT3, but man, especially after playing Gran Turismo 2, I was like, this could have been a lot more. Still great. I think for a PlayStation 2 game, this still looks great. Especially considering this game came out in, what, 2001? Like, holy shit. And I can definitely appreciate the quality over quantity approach that this game went for. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just solid A tier. The rallying was king shit, though. The rallying in GT3 is king shit. So good, the rallying in this one. Moving on to GT4, dude, you guys know, it has to be Masterpiece, man. Like, let's get real here. Anything else just would not make sense whatsoever. It's just like, I don't think anyone will debate with me about this. It's just fucking Masterpiece. Does things that games nowadays still get wrong. Stupid amount of content. Stupid good graphics. Rallying sucks balls though. Rallying sucks major balls. But the thing is, the game has so much content, you can just completely ignore the rallying and still have like a full racing game. Like, you don't feel like you're missing out. That's how much content this game has. And it's so fun. It's fun. It's just plain fun. You can play with the wheel, you can play with controller. I hate the fucking stiff camera. This was the Gran Turismo where they introduced this fucking stiff camera. So I actually had to get used to like the bumper, not the bumper cam, the hood cam. But once I did, it was fine. And then I actually really started to enjoy this game quite a lot. And I played this so much. So, it has to be Masterpiece, man. And then we have the Gran Turismos for PS3. So Gran Turismo 5, I played this one a little bit. Nah, it's not S. Fuck no, it's not S. B or... Nah, not C. C is unfair. Let's put it into B tier. It's just... If you think about everything that, you know, 4 did... Dude, this one was... I don't know, man. You'd expect more. GT5B, GT6A. See, GT6 I actually never played, so I'd have to put that into the never played category. But from what I understood, GT6 is essentially GT5, but just expanded to actually be like a proper step up in terms of Gran Turismo. But yeah, GT5 was just kind of meh for me. It was just kind of meh. Didn't really blow me away. GT6 didn't have endurance race. That's not that bad. G6A because there's a lot of cars to choose from. I mean, don't all Gran Turismos. I hope PS3 emulation at some point is good enough so that I can emulate GT6 because that's the game I really want to play still. Problem is no one really played it because it came out after the PlayStation 4 has already launched, so... Yeah. Alright, moving on to the final Gran Turismo game, and this one I actually started playing last year. Gran Turismo Sport... I think it's S. D? Fuck no. Do you think why do you think this is just as bad as Dangerous Driving? Are you drunk? Fuck no. That's insulting, man. I mean, dude. Then again, no, I'll move it down to A. I don't think it's quite S tier. I think for S tier it's missing something. I guess it would need to be less repetitive in the career. But dude, I feel like this one was just like another step in the right direction. You could get rid of the stiff camera, which is the most important for me. It's a great handling. I think the track list was kind of small. I think the amount of tracks just kind of wasn't there. Like, you had a lot of like variations, I guess, but like, I don't know. I felt at some point I just felt like I drove in the same locations over and over. It's good though. It's a good one. GT Sport is a good one. It definitely got a lot better with updates from what I heard. I never played it when it released. It does kind of feel like GT Sport is a bit of the... It's GT3 2. Does that make sense? GT Sport feels, if anything, like a sequel to GT3. Because GT3 went with this, you know, quality over quantity approach, which worked pretty well. And then GT Sport was just kind of that again. So I think these two are very much on the same level because they are very similar. So... an interesting one, Horizon Chase Turbo. That's not the A tier game. I'm not sure how many of you guys played it. It's really good. It's kind of like Outrun, but like in like a bit of a modern, with a bit of a modern spin. Super fun. It's just plain arcade fun. I can really recommend it. It's super fast as well. Like it can get so fast. You played it on the phone. I think it's probably better if you play it on like Steam, How many games we got left? Dude, I think we are not even halfway through, man. So I need to pick up the pace a bit. Yeah, Horizon Chase Turbo. If you haven't played it, go do so. A tier. Juiced 1. Now I'm gonna say something a bit controversial here, right? I think Juiced 1 sadly is a B. I think lots of people would put it into A, but for me personally it's a B. It's good, where it you know, it has the personality, it has the character, you know, and it has, I guess, the customization, car list. But man, the handling and the tracks, I don't know, dude. I feel like that's where it kind of fell a bit short. I feel like it gets many things right, but like the basics, like the handling, could have needed more work. And dude, some of the race types are just like, the drag mode is just pretty fucking I don't know. It certainly just started out as an underground clone, let's get real. Not bad at by any means, you can still, you know, you can pick up Juiced 1, enjoy it. It's GG, but Juiced 2 I actually think is better. Why does everyone hate Juiced 2? Why does everyone say the handling in Juiced 2 is bad? I don't get it. It's better. It's better. Juiced 2 has better handling. I don't know why everyone says it has bad handling. I guess, actually, you know what? A theory that I have is most people probably played the PS2 version. And maybe the PS2 version, for some reason, has like really bad handling. And that's why people say this game has bad handling. But I played it on PC. I have the game. I have the game right here, man. Here. So I played this on PC in 60 FPS. Yes, that's right. I played it with the 60 FPS patch. And it was really fucking enjoyable. That was genuinely enjoyable. I feel like some of the character got a little bit lost from Juiced 1. But that's okay, because the base of the game is better. And it's still pretty good. You can do some really bonkers customization. You can add a file-side kit to an RX-7. The tracks are nice, although they are also, you know, still like the amount of different tracks also still kind of low. But you have like better handling, you know, better graphics of course, you know, more interesting customization. Progression, debatable, I don't think it's better or worse, it's just different. But since the core of the game is better, Juiced 2 for me is an A. So, Lego Races 1 and 2. I actually did not play 1. I did play 2, and the last time I played Lego Races 2, I was a baby. Literal baby. I was like, I don't know, like 5 years old or something. So I don't remember anything. But from what I remember, this looks like a D or C tier game. I think I'm gonna put it into C. I don't know, I'd have to play this again. Then maybe I could get like a better opinion on this, but it looked kinda, like looking back on it, I saw some gameplay some time ago and it was like, ugh, that's what I played? Okay. Probably C tier. Now we have the Mario Kart games. Didn't play 64, didn't play Double Dash, played Mario Kart Wii. I would say that's an A tier. Played 8 Deluxe, that's S tier. Straight up. I mean, come on, who doesn't like Mario Kart? Like, come on, dude. Just good fun racer. Just good stuff. I think I need to open up... Now I can open up the window again because the bell tower stopped. I mean, Mario Kart Wii is just a classic, right? That's just an all-time classic. It's not complex, not like super wild. But it's cool. It's cool. A tier, but I feel like Mario Kart 8 just offers so much. It's like so much. 8 Deluxe especially, you know, like the Switch version. It's just good stuff. It's just good fun racing. Did you come racing about Mario Kart? Probably. I mean, I never played it. But I mean, there's a reason why these Mario Kart games are selling, and sure, you know, part of that reason is because they, you know, have like massive amounts of mass appeal, but they're also just damn good, right? So, moving on to MSR, Metropolis Street Racer, which is kind of like the prequel, I guess, to the Project Gotham Racing series, which is not that good. I played it on stream, actually. I think, was it this year or last year? I don't remember. It's really not that good. It's really not that good. Is C tier fair? It's super repetitive. It is so ungodly repetitive. And handling is really like... eh. It does ooze personality. Like, it does have a shit ton of personality. So that's why, you know, it gets some plus points. But I played this year, yeah. I couldn't really finish it. It was not my thing. Midnight Club 2. Now we have the Midnight Club games. I didn't find the cover for Midnight Club 1, that's why it's not in here. Midnight Club 2, boys, you know it's S tier. You know it's S tier, I know it's S tier, it's just great. Played it for the first time in 2019, I think. So I have another game I have zero nostalgia for. But man, the handling, the soundtrack, I think this game oozes with personality. It's another one of those games that just has so much personality. Like, you have all of these different bosses, and one thing that I really loved about it is that every single race start is unique. Like, one time you can start in like a park, the other time you can, where like everyone is in like a circle, the other time you could start on the rooftop where everyone's like facing each other. It's just insane. Like, every event you could tell is like really handcrafted. It's hard as balls. That's what I can tell you. If you're not good at racing games, you're never ever gonna beat this. But such a memorable game. It's just a banger. You finished MC2 yesterday, and yeah, it's a proper ST game. It's just great. It's just all around a really fun time. And then we move on to Midnight Club 3, and guys, it's another masterpiece. It's just, I mean, am I surprising anyone? Am I surprising anyone when I say this? It's just really damn good. It's a POG game. I think it does take a few steps down, or like a few steps back compared to Midnight Club 2. I definitely miss the character it had. Like, you had these rivals, right? The rivals are now just kind of like names and cars. But bro, like the customization that they added, licensed cars, the car list itself. I think the cities were a bit more generic, like just random American cities. I much more enjoyed the cities than Midnight Club 2. But dude, the amount of shit, like this was like an actual alternative to like the best Need for Speed games. It's just so good, and it has so much variety, so much you can do. You can do like regular races, you can do cups, you can do the clubs. Like, it's just wild. It's still hard as balls. I still think Midnight Club 2 is a bit harder though. But yeah, that one is masterpiece. I don't think anyone will argue when I say that. Midnight Club LA, however, I think I'm gonna put it into A tier. It's not quite S. I know a lot of people love LA, but I feel like it's actually the weakest Midnight Club game, excluding the first one, because I actually haven't played that one. It's also not in the list here. Midnight Club LA, still good. Still has like a shit ton of personality, but there's certain things about this game that just don't really work. Hey Bolo, thanks for the follow. Namely that you have to drive to every event, and when you do that you can get the cops, and the cops are really poorly implemented. The cops are sadly really poorly implemented in Midnight Club LA, because they don't have any purpose other than to waste your time. they're not really a threat. They're not really something you need to engage in to progress. They're just there to annoy you and waste your time. And I caught myself just getting busted on purpose so much. Or, I mean, you're not really getting busted, but just like paying the fine. You can like, you know, drive to the side and pay a fine. I did that all the time because I just didn't want to start another cop chase, because losing the cops is way too difficult. It takes ages until you lose the cops. And that's just for getting to an event. And then, you know, they have like... It's pretty much the same problem that... what was the game? One of the games that was just a bit too long. I don't remember. But it's just... It felt like it could have been a bit shorter. Like, it kind of overstates its welcome a little bit. So, like, you know, same repetition problem, but still, it's still great. Club LA is still a fun game. So, oh, we actually have a row of games here that I have never played. So Midterm Madness 1 and 2, never played them. Never played any of the MotorStorm games. Also didn't play my Summer Car. So like a whole row of games that I never played. From what I've seen, like Midtown Madness, those two are basically like the precursor to the Midnight Club games. 1 didn't age very well, 2 is pretty good, I guess. And MotorStorm, first one is just kinda meh. You know, more of a takedown. Apocalypse great, and Pacific Rift's great, and my Summer Car is... whatever. Think Asphalt 70 or this made your day. Dude, it's good, man. It's good. Good shit. Oh boy. Time to open this can of worms here. How many games are this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 26 Need for Speed games. So this includes some of the PSP games. Let me take a deep breath. We're gonna be here a while. Alright. Starting with Need for Speed 1. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to rank here. LA Rush, I didn't find a cover. That's why it's not in here. I actually could not find a cover. Need for Speed 1, I'm not sure which version I should rank. Should I rank the DOS and DOS and 3DO version, or should I rank the PC version? I think I'm gonna rank the PC version, and the PC version of Need for Speed 1 is C tier. It's not bad. Or is it C? Now you know what it's B. I think the DOS version... Honestly, the DOS version of Need for Speed 1 I would put in D tier. It is bad. Like the DOS/3DO version of Need for Speed 1 is terrible. Yeah, I changed my mind. I don't think it's nah. I don't think it's C tier. I think I would still pick Need for Speed 1 over like Dirt 5. Think about that, man. Like I was comparing this one to the rest, and I was like, nah, that doesn't really fit. It's B tier. It's just old, you know. It doesn't really offer much. It's just kind of simplistic. It's just kind of like, you know. That's not A, man. It's old. It doesn't have much to offer. It entertains you for like an hour, and then you move on with your life. Like all you have is the tournament mode, and it's just a series of races. Like it really doesn't offer much, man. But still, like for the first Need for Speed game, this came out in like the mid 90s. It's perfectly fine. It's actually really surprisingly playable. Need for Speed 2, I would put on the same level as Need for Speed 1. I don't think it's that big of an upgrade. It surely is an upgrade, but it's also a bit of a downgrade in certain aspects. Namely, and I think no one ever brought this up, but the collision detection in Need for Speed 2 is some of the worst shit I have ever seen. You get stuck everywhere. You get stuck on walls, you get stuck on cars, and the thing is, the hitboxes are so massive. Even if you don't touch them, you constantly get stuck. And if there's 2 masterpieces, you can raise as a T-Rex. Alright, fair. And that's one thing that really bothered me and really dampened my excitement or like my enjoyment when it comes to Need for Speed 2. The collision detection was awful. But still, you know, it offered a little bit more. It had like, you know, lots of car culture. It was okay. It's another B tier, man. Need for Speed 3. This is a tough one, man. What do you guys think? A. I actually did not spend that much time with Hot Pursuit 3, that's why it's kind of difficult for me to rank. I mean, it's essentially Need for Speed 2 without the shit collision, but all the improvements and cops. But I don't think I would put it on the same level of, like, I wouldn't say I had the same amount of enjoyment as I had from all of these games here. Like, there's some good games in A tier. And sure, this is another good game, but I just wouldn't say I got the same enjoyment out of this as, like, I don't know, like the Rally or... I don't know. I think it belongs in B. If there was like a B+, I would put it in B+. I think for me personally, it's another B. Like, these two are all very much on the same level. These two, 1 and 2 definitely. B is a bit better, but I don't think it's that much better that it warrants the spot in A tier for me personally. High stakes, however, dude, this is fucking straight S tier, dude. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, dude. High stakes blew me away, man. Because what I did last year is actually play all of the classic Need for Speeds, because I never played any of them. I'm too zoomer. But I still wanted to, like, you know, experience all of the Need for Speed franchise and everything that it had to offer. So I started with Need for Speed 1, was like, okay. Need for Speed 2, again, was okay. Need for Speed 3, bit better, but still okay. And then I played Need for Speed 4 and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, they added all of the content that Need for Speed 3 had into the game. Like, it has its own content, but then everything that Need for Speed 3 had. Like, it made Need for Speed 3 completely obsolete. There's no reason to go back to Need for Speed 3 because you have high stakes. And then on top of that, it was the first Need for Speed that actually had like a really fucking good career. Where you earn money and you have to like do these pink slip races that are actually pink slip races where you can lose your car if you fuck up. Right? And you have to like manage your garage, you have to upgrade, you know, you can customize a little bit. Like, it was such a fucking upgrade. Like, there's such a big gap between Need for Speed 3 and high stakes. And for like a 90s game, man. Like 1999, this is fucking fire, dude. You can still play this and enjoy the hell out of it. Amazing. And then comes Need for Speed Porsche. And this is where I have another hard time rating it. I think a lot of people would put this into Masterpiece and it's like, you know, fair. I sadly had a bit of a miserable experience because setting this up was a nightmare. And the problem is, I had to play this game with digital inputs. So like, I had to use the D-pad for steering. And I spun out so much. It was miserable. I had such a miserable experience with Porsche. I know a lot of people would put this into Masterpiece. And I see why. It does everything that high stakes does, but with like even more depth, you know. It had two different career modes that both are like, you know, its own thing. Best physics Need for Speed has a lot of content to Masterpiece. It's kind of sad, like, it's kind of sad that my experience with this game has been kind of ruined because I had like shit controls. That's why I also never really got far in this game. But like, my personal shit experience aside, I think this has to be a Masterpiece. Think about, like, this is a 2000 game, man. 2000. This game released 21 years ago. And it has better physics than so many games nowadays have. So much more content than so many games nowadays have. Yeah, I think so too. If I had better controls, I would probably put it into Masterpiece too. Now this is my tier list. I should rank this how I feel about these games. I don't have enough evidence to back up this deserves Masterpiece, or like personal experience. I'm gonna let it rest in ST. If there was something like S plus or double S, I would put it there. T only Porsche, and I don't like Porsche. Fair. All right, Hot Pursuit 2. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I had zero nostalgia for this game, so I'd like to think that I don't have like pink tinted glasses for this game. So I played with like no expectations, no nothing. I just had like the most open mind for this as you possibly can. And for all intents and purposes, this is A tier. I know there's a lot of people that love this game that would put this in S or Masterpiece, and it's like, fine, okay. But if you think about it, man, this here is not much different than Hot Pursuit 3. I think High Stakes offered more, a lot more, Porsche 2 than Hot Pursuit 2. We're talking about the PS2 version, by the way. Fuck the PC version. Fuck, like, literally just fuck the PC version. Like, this is just PS2 version. Sure, it's one of those games that, you know, it sets out to do one thing and it does it really well, but it's a common problem that I have with so many racing games. It's just too repetitive. I don't like spending 10 plus minutes on the track in, like, just one, you know... But it's just like next race, car track next, car track next, car track next. And sadly, this is kind of still a thing. Like, High Stakes offered a lot more depth, you know. But you had currency, you had to buy cars, you had to bet your cars, you had to upgrade your cars. And sorry, but Hot Pursuit 2 has none of that. Hot Pursuit 2 from like a career standpoint isn't really much different than Hot Pursuit 3. The only difference is that it offers you some choice. Like, do you want to do this race or do you want to do this race? Which is something, you know. I'd much rather have that. But at the end of the day, it's still very... It's bare bones compared to like a game to the game that released 3 years before. So Hot Pursuit 2, like, and don't get me wrong, like, there's so much love about this game. The soundtrack is banging. Like, although I never played this as a kid, I feel nostalgic about the soundtrack. Right? Great car list. Cops. Although I found the cops kind of annoying, but that's probably because I was just lacking the skill to actually like deal with them properly. It's good. I felt like the cars sometimes were a bit too floaty for my taste. The handling was definitely good enough that I didn't have like issues, but I feel like at some parts it was a bit too floaty. Definitely super floaty on the PC version. Yeah, but it's still A tier, guys. I mean, let's get real. I know, like, nostalgia aside, dude, it's A tier. For all intents and purposes. Underground 1. So here's the funny thing. Everything I just said about Hot Pursuit 2, you can apply to Underground as well. Right? You can absolutely apply this to Underground as well. Actually, not really. You get money in Underground 1, you can buy cars, you can choose your cars, and you can like customize your cars, you can upgrade. Yeah, not really. So Underground, again, like offers the depth that High Stakes had, right? Maybe not as much, but still, you know. But it single-handedly revolutionized what Need for Speed is. Lots of people are saying A as I read some masterpieces. Does it deserve a spot in Masterpiece? I don't know. I mean, okay. Let's compare Underground to Midnight Club 2. Because these two games, very similar. These two games are very similar. Winter Club 2 and Underground. I think Underground just does this much more. And I think it's this little much that puts this into the masterpiece category. It's just a game that I replay all the time, right? That's the thing, like I replay Underground all the time. And I think it's just because this game is just like, it's just fucking fun, man. Like what is there about Underground 1 that isn't to like, man? Banger soundtrack, banger atmosphere, banger cars, banger customization. Racing was really exciting, although the rubber band was bullshit, fair. It's just like, it nails everything, man. If it weren't for the rubber band. Yeah, but I feel like the rubber band didn't ruin the game for me, you know? It ruined a few races, but it didn't ruin my experience. Well, actually, there are a few races where it's pretty BS. But, dude, come on, it has to be masterpiece, man. It did so much, not just for the Need for Speed genre, but franchise, but also for like the racing genre in general. Like it single-handedly made customization such a popular thing. It has to be masterpiece, man. Underground 2. And this is really where the opinions split. And I can't say anything without at least offending someone. So I'm just gonna say what I think and ignore everyone. I think Underground 2 is one of those perfect examples for one step forward, one step back. It adds the open world, which is fucking great. Bayview is fucking amazing, man. Right? It adds more game modes. But the game modes are kind of meh. Like Street X. I didn't enjoy Street X, man. You have the URLs, which is like on real racetracks, but it's just not as fun. And it's super like overdone. Right? It is just like super overdone. And you have the open world, which is like cool, and you have like stuff to explore, which is really cool. But then you need to drive to all the events and all the shops, and half your playtime is essentially just driving to certain things. But you're not doing anything. Right? So like, it's like with Underground 2, it's just like one step forward, one step backwards. Like for everything that this game adds to the game, it's like, wow, it's cool. But then you play it some more, and then you're like, well, actually now I'm kind of annoyed because of it. Two things that this game would need to do for me to put this into the masterpiece category. Number one, actually come with fast traveling, so you actually don't need to drive to the races all the time. And number two, dude, just fuck the final stage, man. The last chapter of this game is so annoyingly boring, man. Way too many races. Like the game just sadly overstays its welcome, man. You've done the events like a billion times by now. I think it's time to end it, man. Yeah, fast traveling, more interesting career, and no rubber bands. I mean, still like the rubber band, I didn't really mind too much, man. Oh yeah, also antagonist. Like the story was a joke. Let's be real here. The story is a joke. And we can't just say ignore the story. You can ignore the story. No, they tried to make a story, and the story was just not memorable. It doesn't need to be like a masterpiece like Driver San Francisco, but it at least needs to create something that is memorable. Dude, I forgot half the characters except for... I forgot all the characters actually, except for Rachel, because Rachel was hot. Like... It's A. It's A. If you put it in S, cool. I can understand. But for me personally, where I always notice that Underground 2 falls short is because I never finish it. Every time I play Underground 2 again, I never finish it. I can't remember the last time I finished this game. I don't even remember if I ever finished it. Underground 1, every time I start playing it, I always finish it. Sure, because it's shorter, but I feel like that can be a strength. You know, you don't want games to always be long. Example Midnight Club LA. Example Hot Pursuit 2. Example Underground 2. Even Dirt Rally. These games are all way too long. And they just don't have enough variety in them to like justify the game length. So Underground 2 for me personally is an A, which is still a good game. Like all the games that are in A tier are all chef's kiss. Like this is still a really good rating, which is like, you know, Underground 2 is still a really good game, but I think Underground 1 was just... It just did so much more. Yeah, GT4 same, but the thing with GT4 is not a game that I personally see as like... I don't think GT4 is meant to be completed. GT4 is a game that you just play every now and then. Where you always have something to do, you know? It's not really meant to be completed. So, Underground Rivals? I actually never played, man. I actually didn't play Underground Rivals. I haven't played all of the PSP Need for Speed games yet. But I heard it's good. I'm not sure how good all of the PSP racing games are. But Underground Rivals never played. You know what time it is. Let's talk about Most Wanted for like the millionth time. Come on, man. Why does this game get so much hate recently? I don't understand. People say it's overrated, and sure, you know, there's people that treat this game as like the holy grail. But man, dude, you can't ignore that this is still a masterpiece, dude. It still is, dude. It's still like, come on, dude. It literally has the best cops. And the most fun and interactive and enjoyable cops in any racing game. There's literally not a single racing game that has more fun cops than Most Wanted. Not just in the way they work, where it's like, you know, people usually say, yeah, actually Hot Pursuit 2 had better cops because they're smarter, and Most Wanted just has this like quantity approach. But dude, I actually prefer the quantity approach, man. I got super annoyed by the cops in Hot Pursuit 2 because they would just constantly spin me out, and it just kind of ruined my flow. Sure, the cops was fucking stupid in Most Wanted, but that made the fun of it because it was so easy to trick them, and you felt like super powerful whenever you did, man. And it's the fact that there were so many and you could destroy them, right? And they also had like a purpose. You had, you know, the milestones and the bounty. Like you actually had like reason to interact with them, and they would show up and race. Like it's just doesn't get better than that. Like what can you still do with the cops in Most Wanted? Like okay, sure, you could maybe make them a bit smarter. Sure, maybe Heat Level 1 was a bit of a joke. I'm gonna tell you exactly why Most Wanted deserves the masterpiece ranking. Because it absolutely nails the concept of escalation. Right? Like the concept of escalation in a game or in any art form. You start off in this shitbox against these civic fucking cop cruisers. And you're just like a small time... You're a goon, man. You're a nobody. You're nothing. No one knows you. No one cares about you. You're just whatever. And then it slowly builds up. It builds up, it builds up, it builds up, and sure, maybe it takes a little bit too long. Maybe, you know, I also agree, maybe Most Wanted would have been better if it only had like 10 blacklist members instead of 15. But dude, at the end, like it all builds up, and at the end you're like the most wanted dude, and everyone wants your dick, man. Like the entire fucking United States comes after your ass. And it feels so insanely good. You just go from nobody to like the absolute fucking... #1 fucking terrorist, dude. Like it's escalation done perfectly. Perfectly. And that's why this deserves masterpiece. Like it just boils up so hard. It's perfect. And sure, yeah, you still have like the story, which is like, you know, super memorable villains. Everyone knows Razor, everyone knows Cross, you know? Like, even if you fucking hate Most Wanted, you still know who Razor and Cross are. And I think that just shows how memorable the stuff is, you know? Sure, the, you know, customization was a step back. Fine. Sure, it was repetitive, fine, but dude, it's still masterpiece. People still talk about this game, people still play this game. That's why it's a masterpiece. Plain and simple. Now, Most Wanted 510. Also didn't play this one, sadly. But I heard it's pretty awful. Yeah, dude, there's such a massive modding community about Most Wanted as well. I mean, about all the Need for Speed, not just Most Wanted, but particularly Most Wanted. Which, you know, it's just, the game just never dies. It's timeless. And timelessness is such a big factor when we're talking about masterpieces. I also heard Most Wanted 541 is pretty bad, but I don't know. Again, like, it's another one that I just never played. Carbon? It's another one, man. I wouldn't say Carbon. See, this is where people have like different opinions. I think you guys are right. It's S tier. I think Masterpiece is a stretch. It does fall short. You guys are right. It does fall short. Like for the runtime, it's great, but it still falls short. You guys are right. That being said, it's still S tier, man. Like it's still so goddamn good. I revisit this game every fucking year. And maybe it's because it is so short. But yeah, the thing with Carbon, it took steps back in terms of like game length, you know? And also the cops, although they are basically just copy and pasted, they just don't really have any reason to exist. They're just there. It's basically the same thing as with Midnight Club LA, where it's just like the cops are there, but they don't serve any purpose. Same thing, sadly, true with Carbon. But dude, Carbon was still so good. It was still so good, dude. And the story was still nice. Characters were still memorable. I actually really enjoyed that you had these like different car types, like tuners, muscle cars, and blah. It was oozing with atmosphere, like so much atmosphere. Good soundtrack. The canyon races, chef's kiss. And also my favorite drift mode. Like the drifting in this game is just fucking fun as hell. And yeah, you also had the crew members, but I don't think the crew members were actually... I don't think the game needed crew members. I don't think it made the game significantly better or worse. But Carbon is still a good one, man. It's just sadly short. Sadly, it is just short, but it's still good. I think you guys were right. Like, it doesn't really deserve the masterpiece position because it didn't really, like, elevate the genre like all of these other games it did. But it still is such a good game. Carbon on the City. This one I played. I think this one gets... yeah, it's an A tier. I think Carbon on the City is surprisingly decent. It was the first and only PSP Need for Speed that I played. It's not Masterpiece. I think for Masterpiece the handling isn't there, man. The handling and the sense of speed sadly isn't quite there for like Masterpiece. On the City's story kind of sucks. See, that's funny because I think the story is kind of like a selling point. I think On the City is better than original Carbon? Nah. It doesn't offer the same experience, man. Like, you just don't really have the same level of quality. I think it was definitely interesting. It's just a really, really nice alternative version of Carbon that I think everyone that enjoyed Carbon should really experience. I think the handling is just not quite there, and the map is... I mean, it's a PSP game, so it's to be expected, but the map is also pretty boring. I think open world is a thing, but the open world doesn't really get used. Cops, again, just in Carbon, they are there, but only there to annoy you. It's just interesting. It's an interesting alternative version of Carbon. I think, you know, storyline, you know, maybe a bit controversial. I enjoyed it. I think the storyline was more... I think what was just kind of stupid was the ending, but the story itself was actually interesting. Sure, it had its fair share of weird moments, but it was certainly interesting, man. I think it's fun. I think it's just a fun time. On the City is just a fun time. Like every game in A tier is just, you know, a game that's just a fun time. Nothing like groundbreaking, nothing that will blow your mind away. It's just games that are a fun time, and I think for that, Carbon on the City fits right in. Pro Street. That's a tough one, man. Okay. As much as I love Pro Street, I can't ignore the problems the game has. The handling... hit and miss. I mean, that's kind of it, isn't it? What is wrong with Pro Street that makes me not want to put it into Masterpiece? Let me think about it. Handling, okay. Drifting kinda meh. Drag kinda repetitive. Balancing, oh yeah. For sure balancing. This thing is, every game in the Masterpiece territory kinda left an impact in some way, shape or form on the racing game genre, right? And as good as Pro Street is, and as much as I love Pro Street, I can't say it had the same impact. If we put Carbon in S tier, we also need to put Pro Street in S tier. That's just how it is. It's still fucking great. It's one of my absolute favorite racing games. But I can't deny that all of the games in the Masterpiece category offered something more that Pro Street just kinda doesn't. Pro Street offers so much. Like atmosphere, personality, it's variety, it's all there. But it's just like, it misses that just one thing that I think it could have gotten with like really good handling. But then again, you know, the fact that you can like take any car and make what you want with it is really fucking cool. Yeah, the bosses were also kind of lackluster. Like for the most part, you only remember Rio. It's S tier. I think it just misses the mark for Masterpiece. Like it was so close. I accidentally saved the clip. It was so close for Masterpiece. And I think if they only had a few more months to polish things out, it would have been easy Masterpiece. Which is, I guess, true for Carbon as well. These two could have been masterpieces. But they just fall this tiny bit short. Undercover. I think we got another candidate for D tier. Been a while since we added anything to D tier, but I think this one is fitting to D tier. Is it bad that you like Undercover? No. No, absolutely not. I mean, there's things to like about it. I just don't think it warrants it's enough to like put it into C or anywhere else. Oops. Oops, how do I fix this? Now! Dude, I just want D. There we go. It's D. I think it's better than Dangerous Driving. But sadly, it just has so many issues that I can't put it into C. I can't put it into C. Yeah, we're ranking the PC version. I know PS2 and Wii versions are completely different. We're ranking the PC version. Dude, it has to be D, man. Like, sure, it has things that are nice, you know, story's kind of funny, cars are kind of interesting, but at the end of the day, dude, it's still an unfinished and kind of fucking broken game that really doesn't function as it should. But you can really tell they didn't finish this. The environments look dreadful, the graphics are awful. I mean, not the graphics itself, but like the visual treatment is awful. Like, it's just... The thing is, like, D tier are games I would never recommend to anyone, right? D tier are just games that I would just never ever recommend to anyone. And I think Undercover is sadly one of those games. I would never go to like a friend that never played any racing games before and say, hey, try Undercover. I would never do that. Now, I'm not gonna add non-racing games. I mean, if we're gonna start adding non-racing games, then we will be here until tomorrow. It's C tier, man. Let's get real. It's just, you know, you can have, that being said, you can have fun with it. You can also have fun with dangerous driving. Like, you do you, man. Dude, it's just, at the end of the day, it's still kind of broken and shit. And unfinished. It's just how it is. We need to rate the games for what they are. Shift. I did miss Shift 2. I did actually forget to add Shift 2. But I feel like Shift and Shift 2 are very much on the same level. Bro, honestly, it's a B tier, man. I don't fucking care. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Sure, people were fucking salty because why is this a Need for Speed game, right? Dude, I've played worse. I would rather pick Shift before I pick Grid Autosport. I would rather play this before I play Grid Autosport. I think those two are like the most comparable here. Sure, Grid Autosport has like more solid driving, but I feel like Shift offers so much more. Yeah, I know the game is, but dude, if there's one redeemable factor about Shift 1 and 2, it's that it has literally the best sense of speed of any racing game. Literally of any racing game. And this is so wild to me. How does a game like this have like the best sense of speed I've ever seen in any racing game since then? Shift is not worse than Undercover. Shift is at least like a finished game. I mean, like, dude, here's the thing, man. I never finished Grid Autosport. I never finished Dirt 4. But I did finish Shift. And I think B games are games that you finish. And I guess this is just me, right? I can understand if you hate Shift and you never finish Shift, okay. Alright, I know the handling sucks. I know the camera sucks. But dude, it has like good variety, man. You have like good progression. It has good variety. Yeah, sure, the fucking drifting is awful. But I can't say I would pick any. I can confidently say I would pick Shift over any of these games here. C are games that are just kind of like forgettable. And I guess Shift falls under the category too, but I mean forgettable in a way where, you know, I don't know, man. Shift is B. I don't think it's that bad. And yeah, Shift 2 is again sadly not in the list, but I would probably put it in B tier as well. Nitro. It's getting controversial, guys. It's getting controversial. Honestly, this is another B tier. I don't fucking care. I enjoyed Nitro. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. I enjoyed Nitro, man. Granted, it's been probably a decade since I last played this. I remember playing this on my original Wii when I was like 10 or 11. So maybe now if I would play Nitro, my opinion could change, but on paper it has like a few things going for it, you know? It has really fun, really interesting tracks. You have like actually a lot of personality in Nitro. Like you have like good soundtrack, you have like interesting characters that are like bosses. I don't think the driving is that bad. Sure, it's kind of like mobile gamey, but dude, it's a Wii fun racer. Like what do you expect? It's a spin-off. Like I think for what it sets out to be, it's not terrible, but it's also not good. So perfect for B tier in my opinion. And the car models, I guess that's just kind of the style they went for. Either you like it or you don't. I personally don't care. But dude, Nitro is B tier. It's really not that bad. Go play it on an emulator, shut up your brain, and you'll find out that you enjoy it. Now, Hot Pursuit 2010. Oops. I think I'm comfortable putting this in A tier. I know some of you would probably put it in S, but I think it just doesn't offer enough for S. The thing is, for me, Hot Pursuit, I always call Hot Pursuit as the perfect 8 out of 10 game. It's the perfect 8 out of 10. It doesn't do much, but for what it does it well. It doesn't have like a lot of depth. It's very simple, but it's a really good simple game.
Welcome.
Hey Flavi, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, man. It's just the perfect, simple game. It doesn't have any of the complexity that like High Stakes and Porsche had, you know. It's simple, but it's fun, you know. Like that's. Did I say thanks for the follow? Thanks for the raid. There we go. So like this is easy A tier. This is a super comfortable A tier, you know. Nothing like game changing, but it's enjoyable, man. It's exactly what A tier is. Hey Zach, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it, man. So, Need for Speed World. Do we rank Need for Speed World like it was when it was still online? So like by EA run servers? Or do we rank Need for Speed World like it is today? Yeah, Nuki, absolutely. But multiplayer was also pretty fun, I would say. So, like, how do we rank World? Dude, yeah, for EA servers, I would probably almost put this into, like, not D, but C, probably. I think I'm gonna rank Need for Speed World based on what it is nowadays with the community-run servers. Because if I rank it for how it was with EA servers, that's not gonna help anyone. Neither does it matter. So, like, Need for Speed World, how it is nowadays, is an A tier. Without on EA servers I would give this a C. But nowadays, dude, World is great. Nowadays World is amazing. They add content to the game, like, you know, cars. They add races to the game, like new races. They do community run events. None of the fucking microtransaction shit. It's still kind of grindy. I mean, it depends on which server you go to. Like, there's different servers. There's also servers where you just get littered with money. It's just a good experience. It just never hooked me that long. Because at some point, you just kind of... I just felt like I'm doing the same thing over and over. That's why I wouldn't put this into S tier just yet. You can do, like, cop stuff to break things up in the cop stuff. It's kind of like... As Caleb says, it's pretty laggy, but it's also kind of fun still. Now World is A. I think it's one of the... It's definitely one of the best free racing game experiences you can have. I mean, yeah, it also depends, like, again, like, which server you go to. There's, you know, different experience on every server. Which is why I'm putting this in A. Like, I think it's fine for A tier. The Run. I think it's another A. I think a lot of people would be fine with this in A. The Run is perfect A. The thing is, my first exposure to The Run was actually shortly after it came out on PS3. And holy shit, it played like ass on PS3. Can't you say that? Played so fucking terribly on PS3. It was laggy. There was so much input lag. The PlayStation 3 controller by itself is also pretty bad, so that didn't help. Resolution was kind of shit. I didn't see traffic. So like on PS3 this would be like B or C. After playing it again on PC, with like smoother frame rate, better resolution, and actually giving this game a fair shot, it's good A. The sad thing about The Run, it's just kind of, it's the same thing as with, where was it? Carbon. It kind of falls short, right? The Run also just kind of falls short. But I feel like Carbon offered a bit more than The Run, and it had like a bit more finesse when it comes to like the handling and physics. The Run was just kind of like, it's another good game, but nothing really that deserves like S tier. Hated every second of the Run. I mean, everyone had like, you know, different experiences. I know like it was also pretty fucking buggy at launch. I still enjoy The Run. I think you actually get more enjoyment out of it if you do the challenge series. Challenge series is actually pretty good. Okay, do I want to start a riot in chat? I think I do. Most Wanted 2012 is C tier. Now don't even fucking hit me with like, oh, but if you ignore the Most Wanted, oh, they're kinda nice. Fuck no. My experience with Most Wanted 2012, I tried picking this game up several times. Actually, let me tell you my story with Most Wanted 2012. So, this was my first PC racing game. So the first racing game that I got for PC. And I liked it. It was my, when it came out, I was like 12 or 13. And I liked it. You know, it was like my first PC racing game. It was like also most modern racing game I had. And, you know, it was like, you know, I liked it. And then the more I came back to it and the older I got, the more I realized that there's so many like severe issues with this game that makes it hard for me to like recommend to anyone. And again, like, I don't care that it's called Most Wanted. I don't care that it has the Need for Speed name. We all know it's a Burnout clone, but it's a really bad Burnout clone. Like, the best thing you can compare Most Wanted to is Paradise, but what does Most Wanted do that Paradise doesn't? Paradise does everything. Paradise does everything Most Wanted does, but better. And like, what I always fall back to, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, the main issue with Most Wanted 2012 is the crashing. It's the crashing. Like, the handling is already kind of Payback because there is such a massive input delay. There's such a massive input delay where you can't. I even noticed this when I started playing as a 13-year-old, and I liked the game. I liked the game as a 13-year-old, and even back then I noticed it. Like, you steer, the car does nothing, and then it steers, you stop steering, the car still steers, and then it stops. And this, in addition to like a super sensitive crash model, ruins the entire flow of the game for me. Like, the main problem I have with Most Wanted is game flow. It's not the name, it's not that it's a bad Paradise clone, it's nothing, it's not none of that. It's just that the game flow is bad. Yeah, exactly, like tip crash, you touch something slightly and you crash. And the thing is, sure, that kinda also happens in Paradise. Not nearly as often, because in Paradise the tracks, or like the roads, are much wider. And you don't crash out all the time. But when it happens in Paradise, it's at least fun to look at, because the cars, like, they completely get like dismantled and everything. It's so boring in fucking Most Wanted 2012. Like, nothing happens to the cars. They don't flip over. There's just nothing happens. And it happens like, it's like 20-second driving, crash. 20-second driving, crash. 20-second driving, crash. Like, and this is the game, man. And it only gets worse the further you go. So like, the game flow is horrible. And then you add to that the career is boring as fuck. There's virtually the most like bland progression you can even think of. The game having zero personality. Like, why should I not put this into C tier? I know this game has good qualities. I know the map is good. I know the car list is actually, car list is just kind of mediocre. There's only like a few interesting cars in there. I know the map is good. I know the sounds are good. I know the multiplayer is good. But dude, all of these games have something to offer, man. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't change the fact that the game flow is bad. It doesn't matter if I ignore the title, it doesn't matter if I play multiplayer, the game flow will always be bad. And this is why Most Wanted 2012 for me is C tier. I know the graphics are great. But dude, Gran Turismo has great graphics too. C tier, let's bury it. Rivals. This is where I will keep offending people now. I don't give a fuck, dude. Rivals for me is B tier. Rivals is actually genuinely better. What is it? Then again, I don't know, man. Is it? It has the same issues though. I think it has the same game flow issue, but not as extreme. Not put to an extreme. Hey Caleb, thank you for the 3 months, man. Appreciate it.
This is a nice evening with nice people to hang out with. I am enjoying my stay.
Hey, awesome to hear, man. Appreciate it. I feel like Rivals... The thing with Rivals, it takes a lot of steps back. I know it's fucking broken. I know it released in 30 FPS. I played it in 60. So I'm gonna judge it as I played it in 60 because that's literally the only way I experienced the game in 60. I know it's broken. I know it's fucked. I know it's always online. I know it's crap. But dude, the base career is still more fun. There's actually something going on. Although for the most part I didn't really understand because the cutscenes are just like some random talking that doesn't make any sense. At least there was something to do. At least you had like objectives, you know? And it wasn't just like collect this amount of speed points, which you can literally finish Most Wanted 2012 by just driving around. You don't need to do any races. You can finish it. You can just drive around until you get like 10 million speed points and finish it, and then challenge the last Blacklist member and GG, credit 0. So I'm aware of all the issues that Rivals has, but I feel like at the end of the day, since it doesn't have any of the core issues Most Wanted 2012 had, I actually ended up enjoying Rivals more. Exactly, progression was more fun. You didn't crash, you still crashed out, and the crashes were still fucking boring. But it didn't happen nearly as much. I think the map was more interesting. Sure, it didn't make sense how within like 2 seconds you went from like forest area to snow area, but it was certainly more interesting. Handling was better. It had some customization and like more interesting upgrading. You know, where you could also like level up your weapons. Like that was actually cool. So like Rivals is B tier. I think I have to close my window again, it's getting cold. So Rivals is B, man. I know of the problems, dude. Like here's the thing with B tier. B tier are games that have problems but are still enjoyable. And I think Rivals falls under the category. C is games that have too many flaws and issues that I can't recommend these. And D are just games that just overall have so much wrong with them that I can't recommend these to anyone. And garbage is garbage. And I think when we're talking about games that have problems but are still somewhat enjoyable, like some people, I think Rivals is a fair contester. There. Need for Speed No Limits. Need for Speed No Limits. Actually, I have to put this in the never played category. Actually, I actually never played No Limits. How's No Limits? Anyone here who played it? I saw like some gameplay of it. One thing that I noticed about No Limits is that the races seem really fucking short. It's the same problem that Asphalt 9 had when I talked about it like 3 hours ago. When you have races that are just 30 seconds long, they can never be satisfying. They can never ever be satisfying. It's just not possible. Because there's no anticipation building up, there's no competition building up within those 30 seconds that makes the race satisfying. But again, I've never played No Limits, so I can't really act on it. But it seems like C tier. I'm not sure how egregious the microtransactions are, but it seems like C tier. Like pretty much the same as Asphalt 9. Arosetta, thanks for the gift sub. One more, appreciate it. And Limmy, thank you for the raid, another one. Appreciate it, man.
Welcome.
So yeah, No Limits sadly never played. And we actually only have like 2 more Need for Speed games left. Raccoons have been around for 40,000 years. Nice copy pasta. I always wanted to learn more about raccoons. Hype Train, by the way. And JDG throwing out a gift sub for Carrera GT. Thank you so much, man. Hype Train. And Caleb been throwing in 500 bits. I don't think I have a cheer mode, sadly. But thank you, man. We're from Quest. Dude, Quest always directs all the... so many people to me, man. I gotta give him a gift sub or something. Not the first time. He's always responsible for half the raids going on. It's wild. And let me thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Payback. I think Payback is another divisive game, but honestly, personally, for me, it's B tier again. Hey, Michael Spidey, thanks for the follow as well. If we have established that B tier are games that are problematic and have issues, but ultimately are still enjoyable, Payback falls under that category. Anyone, thanks for the gift sub to M1 Wake Life, appreciate it. Payback falls under the same category. I think Payback has issues, the upgrading is crap, we all know that. The story is kinda crap, we all know that. The graphics slash like the map are kinda crap, we all know that. But dude, at the end of the day, it's still an enjoyable game. I had fun with Payback. Like, after 2015, Payback felt like a really necessary breath of fresh air. I think the biggest problem that I had with Payback is that it has no identity. It's just generic action racing game numbers for 2069. JDC, thanks for the gift sub to Flavi. But at the end of the day, it was still fun. I liked the driving, I liked the customization. I liked that, you know, sometimes you had to do different things, like the progression was actually really fun. You know, you make it through like the teams. There's a few like callbacks to all the Need for Speeds, which I enjoyed, you know, that was fun. I enjoyed Payback. Trackmania games, I mean, those are ordered alphabetically. Right now we're at N. They're still coming. It's like, you know, if you ever wanted to play like a Fast and Furious game, this Payback is your best chance. It's fun. Heat. A tier. I think Heat was good. I was pleasantly surprised with Heat. Good experience. If they had some good multiplayer, I would even put it into S tier. Sure, we're all kind of tired at this point of the break and drift. Break to drift, I mean. And sure, some of it was just kind of meh. Like the day racing, kind of meh. But dude, the story was good. The story was good. Sense of speed was good. Progression was good. Like the entire single player was just really good. Customization was good. Map was kind of okay. I don't have any like strong feelings about the map. It was okay. It served the purpose. Now, if only this game had multiplayer or like good DLC, I would put this easily into S. Oh, it's the legendary 2015 title. I don't know which game you're talking about, man. Yeah, Heat is A. Heat is A. It's just kind of sad because it could have been more. Painted with medical issues, second playthrough was really fun. Yeah, it's A tier. A tier are games that, by all accounts, purposes, like by all accounts, are not perfect, but super enjoyable. Like I can recommend these games here without like any buts. That's good. It's good stuff. I liked it. I think most people did. All right, that is it for the Need for Speed games. Holy shit, dude! It probably took an hour by itself. Cops. You don't have many chances to defend yourself other than ramming. Yeah, I feel like the cops are good, but only if you know that you can like dunk them in the water. I think if you don't know about that strat, you're probably gonna have a lot more miserable time. I still think like the cops are not by far not perfect in Heat. I don't think you should have health if the cops are this aggressive, in my opinion. Now there are Midtown Madness games, I just didn't play them, so they're in the never played category. Quest, appreciate, man. Alright, let's move on. That was it for Need for Speed. Next up we have Outrun 2006 Coast to Coast. Sadly never played it. I did play the original Outrun. And I saw like a lot of gameplay of Outrun 2006, but I can't judge it by myself. I didn't play a lot of Mario Kart games that were older. But it looks fun. It looks like a fun, Hey, thanks for the hype train, guys. Appreciate it. Wait, choo choo. Hype yum. Oh, I got a cute little doggy. Okay, well, Outrun, it looks fun though. It looks like a fun, simple racing game. Okay, Project Cars 1 and 2, I never played these. I'm not really a sim racing guy. What I gathered, PC 1 was pretty terrible. PC 2 fixed some issues and had something to offer that I guess other sim racing games didn't. It actually had some like variety with like tracks and stuff, but it was still pretty plagued with issues. But I never played either of these. Because holy fuck, they were buggy. And I'm also not that huge on like on sim racing games, so maybe I'll check it out at some point. But PC 1 I'll definitely ignore. PC 3. I'll put it into B tier. Ollie, you said it perfectly. It's literally what I wanted to say. It's B tier, but it tickles the balls of A tier. If it didn't have so much bullshit, it could have been A tier. Played Outrun on arcade. Oh yeah, original Outrun is super fun. PC 3. It's a fun time, but you need to be willing to deal with a bunch of crap. You need to be able to deal with unfair AI. You need to be able to deal with money starvation. You need to be able to deal with cars that are just not viable. But above all, I think this is actually a pretty nice experience if you somewhat enjoyed the Shift games. If you could find some enjoyment in the Shift games, PC 3 is for you. I think this is actually kind of better than the Shift games. But not good enough that I could put it into A tier. But I feel like a lot of people shit on this game because obviously not sim there, but who gives a fuck, man? I don't give a fuck. I just want to play a good game. And I enjoyed PC 3. I had my issues and eventually I dropped the game too because I was molding to it. But one thing that was actually a saving grace for PC 3 that never gets brought up, this game had great multiplayer. Sadly, it was only alive for 2 weeks before people stopped playing. But PC 3 had great multiplayer. You could do a lot of stuff in PC 3 multiplayer wise. You had like some really good competitions. You had scheduled events, you had quick play, which was kind of bad. The quick play, you had like time trials that updated every like day, week, or month. That was good stuff. Like I actually quite enjoyed PC 3. Project Gotham Racing 4. Sadly, another one that I never played for the simple reason that I actually didn't have an Xbox 360 for the longest time. My Xbox 360 only survived for like a couple weeks. But it looks good. It's definitely a game that I hope I can get to play at some point. Bonk. But yeah. PGR 4 seems good though. Why did I even add this, man? Pimp my fucking ride. It's D tier.
Baba Booey.
It's not garbage. It's not garbage, guys. I would legitimately pick Pimp My Ride over any of these games in garbage tier. Because Pimp My Ride, the driving is awful. We all know that. It looks like ass. But dude, you can get some good laughs out of it at least. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's kind of the same as Undercover. Like both these games are kind of unfinished, kind of crappy, but Undercover can entertain. And so can Pimp My Ride. Like these games can entertain. And I guess in a similar way, Dangerous Driving can also entertain. Maybe not in the same way, but like, you know. But I think Pimp My Ride is not garbage for the simple reason that it actually has like some... It brings some value, you know, even if it's like kind of like in a negative way, but it brings some value. Which I can't say about garbage tier. Garbage is just garbage. Garbage has no value. And Pimp My Ride, you know, it's at least funny. So I would actually put, you know, if you hold a gun to my head and you tell me to choose between any of these 5 games here, I would actually pick Pimp My Ride. Revolt, sadly never played it. Actually, I have a lot of quite a few games coming up that I didn't play yet. Big Rigs is trashy fun, yeah, but for like 5 minutes. The thing with Big Rigs, it's so buggy that it's like fun, but 5 minutes, man. And then you're just like, yeah, I'm done. I need to play Revolt. I think so too. It seems really difficult. You have 130 hours in Undercover. I mean, you do you. But yeah, Revolt seems fun. Just not something that I played. Neither did I play Ridge Racer Type 4 and 7. Maybe I'll get around to it. 7, maybe if like PS3 emulation becomes more accessible. Or I get better hardware, probably both. Type 4, I think it doesn't run well on PS2 emulators. But I always found Ridge Racer kind of difficult to get into because the handling is weird. It's kind of weird. But I think it's one of those things, like once you master them, it should be pretty satisfying. I mean, there's a reason why these games are so beloved, right? But yeah, never played. Ridge Racer Unbounded. I think we got another candidate for the D tier. I think the problem with that one is just it's kind of forgettable. It's not good in any department, but you can have some like fun with it, with like blowing shit up. And maybe like the first couple minutes or hours are kind of fun, but it's D tier. I haven't played this. Let me actually look. When was the last time that I played Ridge Racer Unbounded? August 2014 for 82 minutes. That's about like the average D tier game experience, you know. It's just like you play it and you know it's like cool, but I don't feel like I need to play this again. It's D tier. Not really much to say about it. It's just it exists. You can pick it up. You can maybe have some fun with it. I know it has like a track editor, but. So, next we have Sega Rally. I guess the cover is from Sega Rally Revo, but I guess this can stand for all the Sega Rally games, neither of which I've played. Sega Rally Revo is actually something that looked interesting. Maybe I'll play it at some point. Now we have the Sonic racing games. Starting with Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, which was the first one. It's a good beat, A tier, I mean. It's by all means just like a Mario Kart clone. But not a bad one. It's actually pretty enjoyable. I played it for the first time last year. It's good. It's not long. You can finish it in like 3 hours or so. That's good fun. It's just nothing special. But it's good fun, you know? It wasn't bad. Now Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. Boys, we got another candidate for S tier, man. Like, let's get fucking real. That game is chef's kiss. So good. So good. I feel like, I mean, people often compare this game to Diddy Kong Racing, that it's like a spiritual successor. I guess it is. I mean, I never played it, so I can't really tell, but that game slaps. So much variety, like the tracks change as your car changes every lap. You have like a really cool career mode with like maps and blah. It's just really fun, man. Banging soundtrack. There's a lot to like about this, man. It's probably my favorite fun racer. So good. Seems like you need to play this. If you haven't played this yet, honestly go for it, it's great. It is so good. Team Sonic Racing never played. That one I just skipped, but it looks like it would be right up into C tier. Where, you know, it's just maybe B tier. Like B or C tier is what it looked like, but it just didn't look like something I would want to play. Like the team mechanic doesn't really seem fun to me. And besides that, it didn't really seem like it offered anything interesting. Split second. The rubber band is so bullshit in this game. The rubber band, I think this is like the one racing game where I would say the rubber band kind of ruins my experience. If there was something like a B+, I would put it there. Yeah, Sonic Transformed is on Steam. I think it's B. I know a lot of people love Split Second, but the handling really isn't that good. The rubber band, I think this is the one game where I would say the rubber band kind of fucks the experience. It's yeah, it's so fun though. Like again, like B rated games, like those are so fun games. But yeah, it's problematic. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what it went for. Like that you could like blow up the environment and shit. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun though. SRS Street Racing Syndicate, man, dude, this shit is B tier, man. I don't give a fuck. This shit is B tier. Yes, I'm putting this on the same fucking pedestal as Need for Speed 3. I'm very aware. And Burnout Paradise. Dude, B for Booba. It's B for Booba. But no, honestly, I think it's okay. It's honestly way. It's actually very much on the same level as the first Juice. Yeah, dude, the thing is, like, again, we're not... I mean, obviously, I enjoy Burnout Paradise more than Street Racing Syndicate. But it's not bad enough for C tier, but it's also not good enough for A tier. Neither is this good enough for A tier. Just because these games are in the same category doesn't mean they're equally as good. It just means they fall under the same category of... They have flaws, but they're enjoyable. And I think that actually applies to Street Racing Syndicate. It's a fun game, man. Like, the handling is just kind of... bruh. Completing it is a pain in the ass. It's kind of sexist sometimes. But it is fun. I'd lie if I said I didn't have a fun time with this game. Super Street. Actually, never played that one. I think this seems like another candidate for C or D tier. I don't think Super Street is bad enough for garbage. But it seems like something I would probably put into D or C. Nico, exactly, man. Yeah, I never played this one. Now we got the TDU games. Obviously there's like a bunch of other test drive games, but I just focus on the TDU games because otherwise we'd be here until tomorrow. TDU 1. I think for me it's an A tier. I know a lot of people would put TDU 1 in S tier. Maybe even Masterpiece, and I could fully understand why. For me, it sounds kind of stupid, but I didn't like the excessive amount of freedom. I feel like it was almost too open, where I felt like the progression was kind of all over the place. It was still fun though. TDU 1 still super fun. I should preface this by saying I never played the original TDU 1. I only played this with the Platinum mod. So my experience is obviously kind of altered since, you know, I do only know the game with like a lot more cars. It is an enjoyable game though. I can definitely recommend the first TDU 1. It's a fun game, man. TDU 2 on the other hand. And this is where probably a lot of you guys will disagree, but for me it's S tier. I think people mauled way too hard over the handling. Like, dude, if you think the handling of this game is bad, you haven't experienced bad handling. I think TDU 2 offers so much more in comparison to TDU 1. So much more personality, better progression. It has more content. Like, you have like driving schools, you have like, you know, dirt racing, off-road racing, and sure, none of it is like really like great. Like, I know how like, especially like kind of meh the handling is on off-road, but dude, it's so fun, man. Call it a guilty pleasure. Call it a guilty pleasure, but I think TDO2 is great. For me, it's S tier. I definitely enjoy TDO2 more. I know a lot of people enjoy TDO1 more because it has better handling. Which, fair. TDO Solar Crown supposed to release in a month? Fuck no. That thing is probably not coming out until next year, man. But I feel like TDO2, I love the Ibiza. I actually love the Ibiza a lot more than Hawaii. And even to Hawaii, like you have the map from TDO1 and it has like more roads added to it. And again, you know, you have a much more interesting progression, you have like more character, more personality, you know, the characters themselves. It's just more of everything. At the compromise of the handling, which again, I don't think is bad, it's just worse. But just because it's worse doesn't mean it's bad. I think it's completely fine. S tier. The Crew 1. I would probably put the Crew 1 into... I mean, again, like as a reminder, we judge these games based on their last update. We don't judge these games based on when they released. When it released, I would have probably given this a C tier. But the updates really turned this game around. I would put this in A tier. The handling still isn't quite there, but bro, this game offers a lot. Spent so much time making those games, yeah, I bet. Like, the map is easily a highlight. One of the best maps in a racing game, not just because of the size, but because it actually has both size and detail. Sure, you have your spots where there's nothing going on, like the Grand Canyon, it's just a bunch of rocks. But you have like so many sites, like all of these custom-made buildings everywhere, that you're actually encouraged to like explore. Right? But the Crew 1 I actually really enjoyed, man. Yeah, you have these like really long races you can do for like a shit ton of cash, and you can buy cars and you can customize them, blah. I also enjoyed the single player. I liked the story mode. It was cool. It wasn't like the most groundbreaking story. It was just like generic, you know, car movie story. But I meant TDO, okay. Links. But I enjoyed the Crew 1 a fair bit, honestly. And then we come to the Crew 2. I think we have another candidate for the C tier, man. They took out everything that I liked about the Crew 1, like everything that was a saving grace in the Crew 1, because I'm fully aware that the Crew 1 has issues with like handling and shit. They took all the fun stuff out and fixed none of the issues. The handling, marginally better, still not there. The cars still feel like they have no weight and no like power. Like there's just no feeling with the cars. Planes and boats, cool, but never really utilized, that you could switch between them, like it just never gets utilized. You just have dedicated races and that's kind of it. There's nothing to do in the world. Like, the Crew 2 just has nothing to do, man. Like, what do you do in the open world, man? Nothing. Like, you just jump from one race to the next. There's nothing to explore, nothing to find, nothing to do, man. I don't know, man. The Crew 2 just bought the fuck out of me, man. I don't know. I think the Crew 1 had more going for it. It felt more ambitious. It just felt a lot more ambitious. And the Crew 2 was just like, hey, let's remove all the fun things and fix none of the issues and then add a bunch of stuff to it that you literally find in mobile games. That's a lot of car. Tomo, we've been at this for like 3.5 hours. How you doing? But yeah, the Crew 2 for me is C tier. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's people playing it still, people enjoying it. It's not for me, man. The Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I think that's another candidate for the B tier. Again, like B tier is games that are flawed but, you know, still enjoyable, and I think Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift falls under the category. Yeah, I know, shitty drifting, shitty handling, but dude, the map is just all kind of highways, but I kinda enjoyed it, man. I kinda enjoyed it. I lied if I said I didn't enjoy it. I like the fucking weeaboo anime music. I like the car list. I like the tuning. And you know what? The racing wasn't half bad either. Tomo, enjoy your lunch. It's fine. Like, honestly, pick it up. It might take you some time to get used to, as with all the games in like the B category here. I actually enjoyed Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Breakless, thanks for the follow. Okay. I have to put this in the never played category, sadly. But we all know where it belongs. We all know where Crossroad belongs. We all know. We all know where it belongs, but I have to put it in the never played category. Oh, we all know where it belongs. If anything, for a game to be in the never played category, it's probably even worse. Put it in garbage already, you know, want to? Yeah, I want to. I'm gonna put this into garbage territory. I did not play it, but I feel like it's one of those games that no one needs to play, you know? It's like, no one needs to play because it is such garbage. Dude, final stretch. This is the final row here. Final, I think, 12 games or so. Grand Tour game, also never played it. But it seems fun, it looks like a C game. Maybe even B. But yeah, never played the Grand Tour game. Also can't buy it anymore, got delisted. Tokka Race Driver 3. I think that's B. But it would be a B minus. It does offer a lot of variety and the handling is nice, but my god, it's frustrating. I modded so hard playing that game. But it's okay. I think Tokka 3 is a perfect B. It's like the prequel, I guess, to the Grid games, which ended up being like masterpieces. It's B. I wouldn't put it into A. It's B. The Talking Extreme Racer games. I actually played most of these on stream. The first one is C. The second one is B. 0 is C and 3 is B again. Catch you later, Tomo. Have your lunch. I'm thinking. I ranked this in very, very fast. The thing with the Tokyo Extreme Racer games, they're all kind of the same. Like, they're only like marginally better or worse. The thing is, Tokyo Extreme Racer 1 had god-awful handling. But since it was an old game and it was like the first one in Dreamcast, it was, you know... 2 I actually probably liked the most, along with 3. And 0 was just a remaster of 2 that actually ended up looking worse. And took away some of the personality. Holy shit, Sydney, thanks for the 5 gift subs, appreciate it. So yeah, I don't know, like they're all just kind of coast in like C and B tier for me personally. Problem with all these games is they're just way too repetitive and grindy, but you know, for some people like that. Wasn't for me. The Trackmania games. Starting with Trackmania United Forever. And I think... Man, either S or A. United is Masterpiece? I don't know. I think United, I'm gonna put that in S. United is really good. It's probably the best Trackmania they ever made. So much variety, and most of the race types are fun. I think Coast was it Coast or Island? One with a slow Carrera GT looking car, awful. I think that one was awful. But all in all, good stuff. Oh yeah, multiplayer was great. Multiplayer was absolutely great. So yeah, that's ST, man. Trackmania Turbo. I think that's A. The thing is, I honestly, I'm not too big of a fan of Trackmania. I gotta be honest, so it's always like, yeah, this was fun, you know. But I think Trackmania Turbo deserves an A spot. There's not really much wrong with Trackmania Turbo. It just didn't offer the same amount of variety that United had. I feel like United was just more ambitious than Turbo. But Turbo was still decent fun. And then we have Trackmania 2020, and this one I actually haven't played yet. I'm not sure what this game is like, and I don't know what it's going for, but I actually never played it yet. Maybe I should get to it at some point. The thing is, I'm just not that big of a Trackmania fan. Yeah. The style Trackmania Turbo goes for surely is interesting. V-Rally 4. I could have also added the other V-Rally games, but I only added 4 because that's the only one I played. I played this very recently and it's C tier, man. It's C tier. It is really nothing special. I don't have much I can like say about this game that is like, you know, super good. I enjoyed it. Basically has like 5 different event types, and they all are actually pretty different, but only one of them is like really good. The trailblazing, like the Trailblazer event is pretty, like these events are good, but they only have like 2 or 3 tracks. So it's kind of like, and the rest is just kind of, the rallying is pretty shit. So it's C tier. Yeah, I never played Mario Kart 64, dude. I'm a zoomer. Wipeout Omega Collection. Dude, sadly I didn't play this much. I feel like I should, but bro, it's S tier, man. So good. Like the thing is, I was never huge on anti-gravity races. I can fully understand why some people put this in the masterpiece category. It's just I have like not enough experience with these types of racing games to know what to call a masterpiece and whatnot. Yeah, as someone who doesn't really play a lot of anti-gravity races, I was pleasantly surprised with this one. This one was really fun. I need to play it some more. I only played like a little bit of one of them. It's like a collection of like 3 games. So good though, it's so fun. Great soundtrack, great handling, great gameplay. It's just chef's kiss. I feel like if you want to get into like anti-gravity races, this is the game to go for. This will actually get you hooked on this type of genre. Mario Kart 64 Live? Maybe. Not sure if there's so much interest. Dude, only 2 games left. One Gang Midnight, Maximum Tune 5. Shit, I also forgot the initial D game. Maybe I should have added like at least one initial D game. This I actually played recently on stream, like a few months ago, and it's B tier, and not S, dude. What makes this S tier, dude? You're just driving on a straight line or mostly straight line, over and over and over. It's not that special, man. The thing is, it's honestly not much better than the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. It does have better handling, but that is it. It has better handling and better graphics. But at least Tokyo Extreme Racer 2 and 3, they had like some kind of upgrading. So like between racing, you would at least work on your car and you would build it. What do you do in Manga Midnight? Nothing. You just pick a car. I guess you can customize it a little bit. That's kind of it, man. Like, then you just do the same thing over and over and over and over until you get bored. Better story, yeah, story that I couldn't really see because there was like a bunch of text on the screen that I can't read because I need to look on the road. I feel like the problem with Wanga Maximum Wanga Midnight is just the sheer repetitiveness. It is so repetitive. Like you can play literally 10 minutes of the game and you have seen everything. Sure, you've not seen all the tracks, you've not seen all the cars, but dude, it's not really gonna be any different. It's still mostly straight line where you have to dodge some traffic and block your opponent. And that is the game. That being said, it's enjoyable. I had fun, but I didn't have enough fun to be playing more than 5 hours. If I finished the Devos here, what would I give it? Never played. because I never played an initial D game. So yeah, longer midnight games, they're fine, like you can have fun with them. Again, like the B tier is flawed games that you can still find enjoyment with. Like if you're into racing games, I can recommend all these games here. Like go try them out, see if you like them. Maybe you like them, maybe you don't, up to you. C tier is the tier where I would say you will probably not enjoy these games. D tier is the tier where I would seriously say don't play these. And garbage is literally like laugh at these games. Look at these games and laugh at them. Alright, we've arrived at the final game. Wreckfest, the spiritual successor to the Flatout games, which I ranked into the masterpiece category. And Wreckfest as the spiritual successor. I see lots of people saying A. It's hard. If there was an A+, I would give an A+. If there was an A+, I would give an A+. But I think it's fair to put it in A. The thing is, they added so much content to Wreckfest, didn't they? Yeah, Wreckfest lacked the boosting. I know that they like kind of went for like a more realistic approach with Wreckfest, but I feel like it was to the game's detriment. It really did miss the boosting, and like, you know, that there was actually an incentive to like crash others that went beyond just a couple of XP, you know? You'd put old initial D arcades at A because of their better physics, and especially considering deep physics fucking anime. Newer arcade initial D games are C because they're too arcadey. Okay, oh, good to know. Maybe I'll check out some of them yet at some point. But yeah, Wreckfest is A tier. It's still good, and I think it's probably one of the best games that you can currently buy if you want, you know, a new racing game with like a very alive online multiplayer. Actually, the game has like a really alive and decent online multiplayer, and it's super enjoyable. Like I played the entire career and I had my fun. I feel like at some point it got a bit too repetitive when they like send you on like 10 lap races. It's just like, why? But it has everything in the game that it needs to be good. Like it's, you know, the races, although they're not as exciting as like Flatout 2, are still fun. As upgrading, customization, online multiplayer, like it's good. It's good. It's just plain good. But for S tier, it's just missing a bit of that excitement. Like it's just missing that little edge that puts it from a good game to a great game, you know. But still, like Wreckfest, super recommendable. Did we do it? Did we actually do it? Ah! I can save this tier list, yeah. I mean, it's on stream. I can make a picture of it, I guess. There we go. Screen capture. And yeah, if you want the tier list, I can send it to you. But I'm gonna save mine first. Wait. Honey? Did I miss it? Ah. So yeah, let me save my own tier list. And I'm gonna post the tier list in chat any moment now. I could have also pressed on save download here. Kick. Didn't need to do a screen cap of the entire... Did this download in like full resolution? I think it didn't. That's good enough. There we go, it's probably proper quality. I'll make a video out of it. I think I will actually post the entire thing on YouTube. I'm planning to do a live reaction on E3. I'm still split, I'm not sure. Maybe I will. But let me now share this with you guys. I'm actually gonna try to copy this here. See if it works. Well, that's just mine. Oh, that should work for you guys. For some reason that... Okay, wait. Let me know if this link works for you properly. And then you can do your own tier list and share it on Discord if you want to. I think I want to leave it as a full video though. I don't think I want to do editing. actually. I think it's gonna be nice, it's like a long video to listen to. But yeah, people that are watching on YouTube, hope you enjoyed the tier list. A lot of fun, lots to say about all these racing games, and sorry if your favorite racing game didn't make it, but those were again like 147 games, I had to cut it at some point. But yeah, thanks for watching.